Back, apologies for the delay, but we are ready to get into things between Vivo Keydstars and Galorys. We are rating the Keydstars as heavy favourites. Dwayne, you're going to go 2-0 or 2-1 in this series?
I'm going to go 2-1. Give the benefit of a doubt. At least a third mapper affair.
I'm going to go 2-0 to the Keydstars side, but I would be pleasantly surprised if we're going to throw up a foul out of this one. It's time to kick things off here in the South American qualifier for the ESL Pro League. Pistols are alive, and Beast is taking point at the Palace entrance, where 3 players are going to pop out, part of the set-piece execution. 3 defenders on site, and 1 man also closing in towards the connect the jungle stairs. Smokes, flash, draws first blood against Allison. Good trade from Cads in the back, but he's lost his teammates. Now he's completely surrounded. Does escape with 1 more kill. So a 3-on-2 that favours Keydstars.
That's an excellent hold there from the back of Triple, and it gives the chance of the round ever so slightly. You've got a returning kill from Spawn, flash around the corner. Now the T just need to try and waste time, and they're doing a very good job of that, playing out towards Firebox and from Triple without over-peaking.
Back leads them in, trying to spot that player at Tetris. 2-on-2, of course, seeing Leo DRK tap away, get nothing. Both players completely fail on the Keydstars defense, and Galorys can take the pistol.
Well, I think you can say there for Cads, he was the only reason that there was a chance in the rounds. Everybody else was getting overwhelmed quite quickly. You've got the double smokes out towards the top of jungle and of stairs, the molly to underbalk. The entry attempts look pretty good from the players flying out of ramp and palace, but the P2K getting 2 just generates a chance in the round. Now, if you are Keydstars, 3 kills, bomb down, got options to lightly buy, force buy up, look to get the rifles in into round 3. And it's up to them to make the decision on what they want to do in round 2.
Just a deco for the Keydstars camp, so no major force invests. They'll be happy to see if they can take some heads out of the equation, maybe and keep the economy stay limited for the Galorys side. And nothing that should cost them anything going into the first gun round, which will be out for round number 3. It's a positive start for the underdogs here.
Yeah, Keydstars with 3 wins and 5 losses when it comes to Mirage in the last 3 months. And this is an organisation that don't pick it, but they'll be happy to play it against some of the better teams in the region. And Flash just trying to see if he can clear all these cubby angles out towards A main. If they can just get 1 or 2 picks with these upgraded digs, I think they'll be satisfied with the economy.
And there's 1 shot to the back of the head. Epi's down. The rotations of the Keydstars camp will start to make moves up towards that B bomb site, if that seems to be the end goal here. Ninja's going to stick around. Another headshot would be even better for them, but the hits most are going to focus down its apartment's take. You've got Back and Allison, the 2 defenders.
Well, Back just needs to tuck for as long as possible ahead towards jail. Let Allison take the majority of the brunt. Let him take the majority of that defensive line. Bring all the attention towards that M4 rather than the FAMAS.
They quickly make their way out as Allison dips back into harder cover. Misses the mark on the first player. Second one does go down, though. Allison drawing attention as that jail individual springs the trap that they're looking for. Allison and Divine will clean house on the rest of them. And Ninja just FAMAS, best to go down from here to get the money bonus. We'll take 1 more player out, so it becomes a little bit expensive for Galorys. But nothing that will make major impact. Again, to be a 2-0 stance, Galorys will reinvest and Keydstars will be able to buy.
Now, an intriguing dynamic that we can look at quite obviously in these first couple of rounds is that why is the T side being picked? This is a map pick for Galorys. You're going into Mirage, and Keydstars have decided that they want to go on the T side. Now, that might be something in terms of the first few gun rounds that we get a bit more of a vibe of how they want to play, what sort of timings they're trying to exploit, what sort of overall pacing. But I would say this is a little bit unorthodox to start on the T side.
Especially when you consider some of their head-to-heads in recent times have not been all that T favourable for Keydstars. Still going to make it work in that first pick, though. Leo starting things off well enough. Upgrading that FAMAS into an M4 for Ninjas. So, Divine next up to task, hearing those footsteps. There's a player, close player, and the back line's also adjusted towards well on the spray transfer. The headshot secure with the HP advantage. Divine's on 12, so might not last too much longer. His teammate out for the sight, unable to control the spray. So, Flash can get a trade back to a 3-on-3, and Back's going to hear them going back with the bomb. So he'll know the rotation, he'll know the information that's happening.
Oh, that's a real missed opportunity for me there, Jay. No extension from Back. He a little bit almost afraid in that duel. I would have loved to have seen an extension. That would have been the bomb being dropped, the round completely over. And now, unfortunately for the CTs, with the low HP Divine, with the lack of util for the other two, Alison's going to have a lot of faith in himself that he's probably the only difference that can attempt a retake. Try and give them some success here.
Well, HE does nothing there to the bomb plant position. The T-side able to get themselves away. Black starts leaning forward for first contact and the kill on Flash. Vinner's going to get seen close, but the AK picks up his kill. Divine's low. His teammates distracting out of the info on both individuals. Divine needs to go down though. Vinnerbeast has no idea how low he is. Down to 6 points of health with that kill coming in. Allison truly in a 1 versus 2, so truly going to get out the full-blown clutch. But with no kit, there's no time. And Vinner makes it a triple for the first round of Keed Stars.
And now we just see that the economy is in a very awkward state here for Galorys. They're on double eco for a few players, so they'll have to buy it up in round 4, but this is going to be the momentum shift. This should be where Keed Stars not only tie up the score at 2-2, but press it to a 3-2. And just look at some of the whiffed attempts that were coming out there from the CT line. We've got a player quite aggressive in bottom con. Pepe doesn't really get much out of it. Divine can at least hold weight, and then the A-side anchor out there to the back of triple with the Famar should at least be getting 1, maybe 2. That's not a good sign for the underdogs in the early stage of Mirage.
And tactical timeout called in just the first 4 rounds. Keed Stars should be able to convert upon this round victory, because their buy state is going to be looking far superior here for round number 4, and certainly for round number 5 if they win it. A bit of a must-steal situation in terms of the early goings for Galorys.
Well, it has to be an aggro A main or aggro palace play. You can't take mid because there's a lack of util and you don't have a single rifle. But at the same time, you've got to be active. I think if you sit back and play very defensively on the bomb sites, you'll just have no chance of winning this round if you're the CTs.
Well, 2 players will push in towards short to try and look for a boost defensive, so there is no major overly aggressive stuff from the Galorys side. No pushes out for the apartments or ramp, most certainly. Even mid-control, they're not actively taking it. So unfortunately, you don't get really what you would hope for out of these boys here.
Well, for Galorys, you have to look at the MP9s and you think it's going to have to be a swing-on contact setup. When you're playing 2 in top con and 2 out there towards short, as soon as either the short individuals or con is taking the advantage, that's when everyone is just going to swing en masse. And if you're Keed Stars, you'd like to think that you need to keep prodding around until you can work out if there's a stack in play. Now, you know that mid has been quite easily unprotected. The lurk outside of A, Vinnerbeast, he's been watching Palace entrance, he's been watching A ramp, he sees nothing. So it's just going to be a group and an exec. So this is quite easy for Keed Stars to get that exec towards the A bomb site now.
And plenty enough for the set piece. That smoke used towards Palace coming a little bit early for the Galorys side, so utility sent in spite of it being up. Get the jungle instead, blocked away. Rotations will come in quickly from the Galorys side, but no one's going to get towards CT in time. Try and clear out those common pre-fire angles at Firebox. Dark goes unchecked for now, but that's no problem because no one's there. Blind fire from Cads does get away with 1 decent pick, and Back is expecting overextensions towards CT spawn, but the bomb is going to go down. And really the onus is on Galorys here.
Yeah, they've used all the util on basically the site hit. There is nothing left for the T side on this post plant. This could get slightly awkward towards spawn now.
Flashbang sent forward, not going to catch anybody in the CT side, but or the T side rather, but they will hear those footsteps. Kill onto Pepe, and everybody else starts falling just as quickly after that between Vinnerbeast and Dash. Mine will do its best to get the kill, but even the damage will not compound against Flash. So 2-all on the board.
Yeah, fundamentally, the mistake there from Galorys was there's just no info play in the entire round. You go into what, late time on the clock, and it's not even a gamble stack. You've kind of got 2 players on A, 3 players on B. You don't know what's going on. Against the site hit, what can you do? You need really 3, 4 players on A, and you need them in the bomb site. You need them out there to the back of triple, out there at default, under bulk, sandwich. You need guys that are going to be in close range positions. And that is always going to be the factor. If you're not making info plays, you're not getting reads on rounds. And if you're Keed Stars, you're thinking, okay, it may have been a poor start from not converting pistol, but right now we look comfortable.
Yeah, their 2 rounds will look far more confident than Galorys 2. And it should extend into a lead right here with only pistols available again. Money's not compounding, so Basics, zero investment at all for the CT side. And Galorys going to rethink their approach to this matchup, because you said during the start of that forced buy round, the previous one, that they need to get aggro, they need to go aggressive. And didn't see that from the start. Locked out of sight, easy pickings. It just very exploitable by the Keystars camp. A bomb plant secured on B. No opportunities at a retake. Maybe might isolate this one exit frag here in Minibeast. And his back goes down. The other three players are too scattered to compound that damage.
There's going to be a lot of importance in terms of preparation from the Galorys coaching staff into not only this matchup, but this entire qualifier. I'm looking at their head coach, used to coach the Portuguese out there on FTW. Their analyst used to be a semi-professional player in the local scene, also coached Peak Academy and the Galorys Academy before getting the promotion. This is going to be a real step up. You've been playing in the Gamers Club tournaments, you've been playing in the Open Qualifier to this season of Pro League, you're playing in ESL Open. You need to look at this one best of three and say, okay, we need to show in, the 6 months that we've been together that we can actually push a decent result, that we can actually get a good win under our belt. And if we're not playing on HLTV regularly, we need to at least be striving for map wins, let alone series wins. And right now, I'm looking at their Mirage with how frequently it's being picked on those off of HLTV tournaments, and I'm thinking, right, what am I going to see from them? What fundamentals are going to be sound? Where are they going to get their advantages from?
Big green gun out for Divine here on Galorys. Swings up, takes a spray, Cadden's back turn, and Pepe unable to get a kill back. His back was turned himself. He turned to the second pick, at least with the trade game going the way of the CT side. But now, Keystars are acting. Desh just got a kill in from mid. Going to get that bomb out towards the A bomb site. The AWPer making a bit of noise towards shore, but Allison's just sat pretty and waiting back on this A play for that plant to be secured. They're going to Molotov the back. Desh to put it down. AK watching out for Palace. Allison can get that kill. Desh may be in trouble. The flashbang doesn't assist. The AK of Flash is all that remains. And he's picked up by Divine for Galorys to spring the trap once again.
It just gets a little bit lazy in that round for Keystars. No flash for Connector. They peek in dry. It's a good opening attempt. And then from that point onwards, it just gets a bit brawly, doesn't it? Pepe gets a couple of kills out there in top con. You then have players coming out of A ramp. The trade's decent from Desh, but it's a lazy clearance of the bomb site. They don't check out towards Firebox. They're hoping and at least holding on that reverse CT barrels position that you can look up there on Palace in case there is a swing from the A player of Allison. They're not quite ready for him at Firebox. That might just be one of those next cases for Keystars, is when we take a bomb site, rather than even tapping or getting the bomb down straight away, let's just make sure that we're clearing as much coverage as possible.
Standard open rifle setups on both sides. Galorys going to try and bounce back with the money injection, but the 2 kills against Keystars puts them on the back foot real quick. Desh is also low. AK swinging forward for Leo, trying to get that reloading player, but Pepe able to support him this time. The AWP does connect nothing there towards this connector angle. Instead, it's Ninjas trying to bail out his squad mates. 2 kills. Adjustment to the third is read so well, but does he have a clue of the fourth man? He single-handedly brought us into a 2 versus 2, but Keystars not out of the woods yet.
Well, he knows that Pepe's aggressive in A main, and he knows that the B player should have over-rotated. With how much impact he generates out there from Connector, B should be open. This is a really good pos now for Ninjas, because he can then force the rotation out from Connector towards short.
Smoke up. Heard the footsteps. The man's head is turned away. Ninjas now with no presence on the bomb site. No way of fending them off. Can hear Pepe making his moves up. He'll try and make his way quickly back around, but bomb's not even planted for him. It was open towards short, so smoke up, tapped once. He's at least abusing the time right here, but Back's now going to get back onto it. Backs are turned. Kill off the first man, but he's not the right man overall. The round will go the way of the Galorys side. The Ninjas will just about stay alive.
But that's just a bit of a shame. He needs Desh to stay alive there, doesn't he? Yeah. Ninjas knows that he can have the backstab. He can get out towards Con. He can play up there towards short even and planted for him. He just needs Desh to get out there towards the apartments and stay alive. And even with the resmoke down towards Market, there's a bit more of an aggro play off of it. From Keystars' perspective, though, that was a 2v5. There was almost nothing going for them in the round, and they've pulled off a near miracle. So that's a positive sign from that regard.
shot on for the first man of Divine here in round number 8. And Galorys really spooling up their opening frag potential here. Oh, what a swing from Leo. The veteran still got it. Divine gets taken out. Cad's forced to use the smoke there. The Molotov sent towards the Palace balcony. HE sent in from both sides. Damage attempted to get done by the CT forces. Allison gets flash in the end. And Pepe known behind that smoke. They're still trying to get the bomb back out here. Allison's getting Molotov. There's all sorts of engagements going down, and Leo finally gets that jungle player to drop. Bomb could be exposed. They're wary of backstabs. Exposed towards some CT somewhere as Leo gets his kill in. Allison traded back by Desh, and Cads is in a 1-on-2.
Yeah, Cads is just completely out of the conversation of the round. I mean, 1v2, doesn't know if the bomb's going A or B. He's going to try and backtrack his way out towards the apartments. Now, if he gets the kill against Desh quickly, with the kit, he can just dive onto the bomb. The factor is, though, does Desh even get into a position in which he can drop fast on this bomb site?
And does he have the read that it's only one man here? Gonna make noise. That will adjust all the T-side attention towards him as Desh will close it. And Keydstars go back to evens over Galorys.
Well, I think we realised that Keydstars are doing a pretty poor job of flashing the AWPer off of angles. We're getting a lot of opening attempts from Divine, whether it be out in Palace, whether it be out in Stairs, in which he's just getting freebies. He's not even being jiggled in a lot of these swings. However, the trading's been very good in the mid to late round. I mean, Leo and co, they're just brute forcing, aren't they? The way that they're taking fights down there towards spawn, it feels very dry. They're using a huge lack of utility when it comes to some of those flashbangs.
Force bought for the Galorys side now leaves them with just pistols alone, trying their best to steal one back. Keydstars 1-for-1 and the trade's back. Divine at least doing what he can with the USP damage combining, but Desh removes him and the backline's been cleared out. So bomb plant should be secured. And Galorys, maybe one more exit if they can find ninjas, but that'll be about it.
It's another one of those cases where this time they do a bit more to give themselves the best chance possible in the force buy than what they've done previously. They just have a pretty heavy gamble out there to be, and you've got a lot of players that are all tucking on crossfires. They're just not quite getting enough damage to send themselves in for the retake. And now you start thinking about the score. It's going to be 5-4, then 6-4. And look at Mirage and say, I mean, only one map on record for Galorys in the last 3 months. It was a map that they picked against MIBR Academy. They had themselves a hell of a T-side where they went 11-1 in the first half. So we know that their T-side is adequate. But how good is it against a different level of competition? The Flash and the boys are just trying to make these exit kills happen, so nothing is being saved into the next.
And the few upgrade pistols will be a non-factor for Galorys. The straight basics on the USPs and nothing more than that. That should leave Keydstars up on number 6 at the very least. Enable the half advantage to be taken away from the Galorys side at the very most. Leo, first man out with the AK in hand. Got Molotovs being sent down as well. Pepe's wary of pushes of the Molotovs will be able to block for now, but not forever.
He's done well to get out of there and to even be in a position where you don't have the ego to keep on fighting. He realizes that that's a trap, that there's a lot of players and it's uncomfortable. Don't give away a free AK. Don't give the CT something they can work with in the round. Just try and back off. Use the util to try and slow him down. And for Flash, you don't want to be too aggressive on this lurk out in B. I mean, now that Vinabeast has got 2, you might think about walking, thinking about the stack being very heavy towards that A-bomb side. So I don't really expect anything getting gained here from the CTs.
The wishful thinking for a double dink in the USPs, and Leo's like, just not having any of it. Straight bursting headshots, triple for him, pad the stats. And keep all 5 rifles in it. So the economy is well bolstered. The closing couple of rounds of this half. Not the same can be said for Galorys, though. Down to the hundreds of dollars. No cash in spare for 3 individuals. So, needless to say, the CT side kind of need to win this round.
Indeed they do. And Peppy is going to go a little bit more aggressive than what we've seen previously. Smoke off underpass, try and see if they can watch out from mid itself. And you've got a lot of util being thrown here from Leo towards Con, but it's going to be a quicker play out to the apartments from the T side going into B.
Back there to resist them. Molotov's going to send him. Spray damage will be good enough onto 2 players. Eventually they'll get those kills between Allison and Back. Draw all the attention from the CT side as well towards the B play. Closest found a quick pop through the smoke, going to get that kill on the first. Not wary of the second though. Cads will trade, and at least Vinabe's going to catch back streaking in towards him. And seeing the shadow of that second player, are they wary of the third man? The attention from Vinabe's has been drawn all 3 players back, but Divine starts to think better of it. The AWP back towards CT spawn. He'll look on towards mid, but he's going to be completely covered off. The timing's awkward against Desh, who walks out of ramp, gets the kill in, and turns it into a 2v2. Bomb plant secured and all, but both T-side players are cut off from each other.
Desh just needs to stay alive. We saw previously him being caught. Now, Cads has made noise out there towards Yarchers. He's watching, but the timing is awful. And this has got to be another round in which Galorys have had mass man advantages and have just not been able to close the round at all.
1v1 with Peppy taking back Vinabe's, but needs to add to bit 2 more quickly, and he just doesn't have the time for it. Desh will hold his nerve, as will Peppy hold his position, and Vivo Keystars will have the half.
It's going to be frustration for a lot of the gun rounds here from Galorys, because they know that they should be on 6, even 7 CT rounds. And unfortunately, the scoreline shows that they're getting slapped about a bit. They haven't been able to strengthen their economy at all. They've struggled to string rounds in a row. They've had 2 opportunities of 5v3s that they haven't quite closed down. And it's just a lack of tactical timeouts to try and reflect, to try and slow the game down. To me, it feels like the momentum's just not only shifted completely, but that they're here and contesting, but they're not good enough to win on Mirage. That's the feeling I get in this first half.
Fortunately, I have to concur. Stars. Walking into this series as the clear defined favourites for very good reason, and we're seeing it on display. The comparison between the 2 sides is very much non-comparable here. Talk about the struggles that teams have to rise up the VRS rankings. Galorys being one of those key examples because of how much they're not playing on VRS ranked tournaments, and we're starting to see a little bit of why that's the case here.
And maybe it comes down to just how many Academy players are on one side versus the other. I mean, for Keystars, you've only got 1 ex-Academy player in Ninjas that previously played on Furia Academy, whereas if you look at the Galor's team, you've got Cads that played on their Academy system, Bax that was there too, Peppy that played on Sharks Youngsters, Divine that was out there on 9Z Academy. So you've got 4 out of 5 players that have all played on Academy systems, and that tells you the youth, that tells you the lack of experience. I mean, you've got Bax that's, what, 17 years old, Peppy that's only 19. It's been tough running for them in the last few months, and you now look at this really important best-of-3 series to try and push on, at least win your map pick, give yourself a chance going into that decider of Dust 2, but right now they will look at things and say, we've performed a lot better in some of these Gamer Club events than how we've been performing today in this best-of-3.
Is no short order. And Galorys will already know about that. Had to go through the open qualifier to get to this tournament. Keystars, they got an invite.
Well, I want to ask you, Jay, who do you think's got the best chance of qualifying to Pro League?
Jesus Christ. Well, out of South America?
Just South America, yeah, because...
Yeah, no, yeah, that's a difficult question to answer even still.
Because, I mean, obviously, with what Legacy was able to achieve at the Major, I think they're the front runners. I think they are the #1 team. However, we've seen a few other squads make some changes recently. I mean, I'd like to see what this new-looking Imperial team is going to be made of, because you've still got, what, the core of No Way, Avinian Tribe, but then Cello, he's come back to Imperial. SHR, that's been playing out with Saw in Europe, he's come over. I don't really see anybody else. I don't really see Odic being too much of a threat. Sharks, Bestia, Red Kennids, I mean, the new 9Z. I think it's only Legacy or Imperial for me.
The question is the toss-up of who do we think is the more superior of those two sides, though. Like, that's where it gets difficult for me personally.
Yeah.
Oh, nice leg shot and HE combo. And Galorys, unfortunately, not in the conversation, at least not right now. And perhaps not ever to qualify for Pro League this season. Man down of Cads and a lot more work to be done to try and bring it back. Scout shot at Divine at least does find Ninja with a pretty simple shot and a good flick on Leo as well to look even better, but 2 tags, no kills, and just that one man to defend over towards the A-bomb site. Pepe's caught off one of the extremities with Desh going down. Bomb will try and find a safe angle of crossing, and none of the second smoke they can use there. After do with dry face past the boxes and into the plant position.
It's really tough positioning from the CT line. They're trying to get the bomb plant open for short, and they've got a player out in con that has some level of protection. The factor is, though, that Ninja was not holding for the cross, and now Allison has got himself in and the team in a really good position in the 4v2 with the bomb being dropped.
With both those players, they got tagged up by the scout. Now Ninjas is all that remains. A clutch that he cannot win. So Galorys might not have the half, but they should go out on a high note right here. 25 seconds to clutch 4 casualties. You're not looking at the bomb plant from this, and indeed, Allison shuts it down. But 2 rounds to lead for Keydstars as they go to the CT side.
When the world is cold, you hear people say, gotta chase the dream of yesterday. But the stories told, the golden memories, ain't a truth but just a fallacy. But there's hustlers, stealers, liars out on this road, and they'll feed the fire and watch it all explode. Gotta put those flames out before we burn it down. Gotta plant new seeds in this ground. Don't let yourself be troubled or think on yesterday. Keep on moving, come on, don't stand in my way. Some people wanna pull you under. Some people wanna make you cry. Some people rolling in like thunder. We gotta fight the feeling, we gotta do it right. If the hustle and grind breaks your stride, do your turn and blame the other side. If the hustle in your mind makes you decide, it will crack and strip you of your pride. Oh, but there's hustlers, stealers, liars out on this road, and they'll feed the fire and watch it all explode. Gotta put those flames out before we burn it down. Gotta plant new seeds in this ground. Don't let yourself be troubled or think on yesterday.
2 rounds to the good. Keed Stars lead the charge as they move towards their CT side. Dwayne, do you see any way the Galorys can try and pull something back here?
It might come down to a few key rounds, and that will being pistol, first gun rounds, a couple of clutches here and there. I think they weren't outclassed by a country mile, were they? I think they had some very good chances. My issue is the lack of quality in the mid to late round from them. And now moving over to the T side, I think, especially on Mirage, you've got to be really disciplined in post plants and how you can work mid round where you've got low utility or low time. And I think from just a quality perspective, I haven't quite seen enough for them to take this map, but I have seen enough for them to at least compete and have a decent scoreline when it comes to the second half.
Well, the one map they have on record on HLTV did have them winning a 11-1 T-side half, but against MIBR Academy, so certainly might see a competitive half, but you're still looking at Keed Stars being the overall favourites on this map.
It looks like we might have a pretty similar pistol round setup. I mean, the first pistol round we saw was just a simple set piece towards A, wasn't it? Molly down there towards Underbalk, Smoker towards Connector and Stairs. You've got almost the exact same util being thrown by the T-side now.
And Julie set on dash to try and fend them off on the ASI execution. 2 players to hold. Third man back at CT spawn. Deal damage be done. First couple kills come in very quickly for the CT side. A triple sequence between those 2 players. Then also gets involved for the 4th man. And Divine is suddenly all alone. 1 on 4, 1 on 5 you count his first kill. And certainly one man that will not be winning this clutch. Vivo Keed Stars for the pistol win.
Good old Vita Beast as the B anchor probably looks at that one and says, well done, lads. I'm just sitting out there jump spotting Van. I've got some util at the ready. It's up to you to hold that crossfire, and that's exactly what was punished. I mean, you don't often see Sandwich being held on a pistol round. It's normally one of those rare positions that gets held in a gun round or an anti-force buy. But right there, I mean, just the driving setup. The Julies are underbout, Leo out there, Sandwich, and they just couldn't catch a break. They've just struggled to get any entry attempts.
And Keed Stars already finding that first kill with the SMG for Flash, been the only real man to break ranks and not be part of the double-digit club on that side. SMG taking point to farm the cash and give Galorys no real chance. Didn't get a bomb plant bonus, so there'll be no options for a true heavy force buy here, so they're going to save their guns and save their money into the next round. Bring out the rifles from there and try and contest, similar to what Vivo Keed Stars did on their T side as well, without that little extra cash injection. Vinabeast will support Flash as best he can with the SMG up close. Vinabeast will pick up the kill steal against the back. Seeing a man inside of that corner here, backup can also make his way up real quick. Incendio is a good block to make sure there is no threat generated by these pistols. And, well, there isn't.
And we always know that when you get these regional matchups, these domestic derbies, there's going to be some parallels, some teammates that used to play with one another. Desh and Allison played nearly 200 maps together on HLTV from late 2021 to late 2024 on both the Meta and recently the Bad News Chickens mixed squad that was being represented in a lot of CCT tournaments last year. And you just feel that when you've got ex-teammates going up against one another, especially in a bracket like this, where every game is so important, there's so much on the line, you do want a fairly close game where it doesn't feel like there's much in it. And unfortunately, that's just not the case with how Mirage has been going down.
And there's the difference in the caliber of the sides, unfortunately. Galorys picked into this map for a decent reason, but Keed Stars minus a couple of small blimps in the pistol losses of the first half, and even the scorelines the Galorys were able to fend off. It has basically just been them in full control mostly.
Well, this is a conversation where I want to talk about the VRS system, Jay, because obviously I've definitely been on the side that there's a lot to poke at it. There's a lot of things wrong with it. If we're just taking a team like Galorys as an example, right? They're not getting invites to VRS tournaments because their ranking is too low. But then you go into an open qualifier, you get into a ranked tournament, but then because you're the worst seed, you get placed against a much better team. Like, how are you meant to improve your VRS? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But I just kind of feel for a lot of these teams that constantly go into tournaments having a really poor seed because of their rank, especially in a single elim like we have in Stage 1. And I just think, well, what chances do Galorys have from the now player break moving into the second half of the year to being played on HLTV more often, to being involved in these kind of tournaments?
So I do sympathise with that argument in general. I will say that this case probably isn't the best example of that, though, because you've got, well, Keedstar is actually one of the more lower-ranked teams in terms of the invites they got into this this qualifier. And remember, this is the preliminary stage of Stage 1. Round 2 is the one with the big teams like Odic and Legacy and Sharks and 9Z and Bounty Hunters, all those teams, and Bestia, all those squads will be involved in the second matches today. So, in principle, I understand your perspective. Probably isn't the best example, I don't think, to show it off, because unfortunately, Galorys have had some flashes over the course of this map-up, but nothing that, again, is matched up to what Keedstars have done so far.
And it does make it quite difficult, and I think we certainly are noticing it a lot more in the outer region squads, like your South America, like your North America, unlike what we've got in Europe, in which there just isn't a huge amount to play in terms of the ranked tournaments, unless you're a much more, what I would say, stronger squad. I think there's a very deep LAN circuit that you've got in Brazil and South America in particular. We see a lot of LAN tournaments being held, but a lot of them are all sort of featuring the high-end Tier 1 squads or even Tier 2 Brazilian squads, and then not down there on the pecking order. So I can imagine a lot of these squads, like your Galorys, your La Champion Liga squad that came in the open qualifiers, your Shendin, your Dusty Roots, even your Elevate that we've got being played up in the next best of 3, I think it's going to be very difficult. I think these next few months are going to be a very tough from an organization perspective to keep funding the project, to keep it alive. And maybe that puts a bit more turmoil, a bit more pressure on the coaching staff and the in-game leader to say, look, you do need to push for results. You do need to get a move on. You can't afford to go into these tournaments, even as a weak seed, and to be going out in last place. You've got to at least be getting 1, maybe even 2 wins under your belt in every single tournament that you play.
Let's go back to that whole thing we were saying earlier, is that even though we don't expect Galorys to find much success here in the qualifier, if you're Galorys, both organizationally and as a team perspective, you're looking at this opportunity saying, this is where we need to farm some points.
Definitely.
Right? This is where we need to build something up and get some sort of upwards movement on the VRS system. And so an opportunity like this to be wasted would certainly be a bit of a waste right here for the Galorys side. So a lot of emphasis on them and their performances and how far they can. And as well as that, should note as well, obviously brutal format for Stage 1 because it's one loss and you're done. There's no double elim system.
Yeah.
So it needs to be in this game, and unfortunately, I'm just not quite seeing enough to see them pass this game.
Yeah, it definitely is a brutal format, and I think it's very entertaining from an audience perspective. But if you are a team, you've got to look at just how the Tier 1 LAN circuit has looked in 2025 and just say, well, where are the open qualifiers? I mean, they're just not being run. There's so many tournaments where open qualifiers are only basically going into Tier 2 and Tier 3 tournaments. So there's even more on the line here because we kind of saw it recently with Snappy's team out there of what they were able to do at NIP, where they got through a single open qualifier, they had a decent crack at a LAN, and then that kind of pushed them really far up, and then you're in that circuit. If you're any of these South American teams, especially the top ones like your Legacies and your Imperial, you just know that this is the pathway to getting back to LAN, and that's the pathway of keeping a stronger and more stable VRS rank.
Well, I will say that this is one of those examples where you do have an open qualifier, and there's a theoretical path in which a team like a Galorys, for instance, one of the 4 teams that came from the open qualifier, can make that run into Prime League. Whether it will happen in practice is obviously a completely different conversation, but it just, again, goes to emphasize what we're saying. These opportunities for this team come few and far between, so you have to make the best of that. And right now, they aren't quite doing that because, well, Keedstars are doing Keedstars things. So I think a lot of praise is to go towards the favourites in this context, because outside of those, again, those blips in the system, right, where they've had a lead loss to a pistol or a good conversion swing, it's been them pretty dominant thus far.
And I think for Keedstars, they'll probably look at just the overall landscape recently and say, we're probably not even satisfied with a lot of our tournament runs. I mean, the ECL top 6 was okay. At the Odyssey Cup, they made it to the quarters, but went out straight away. CCT got to the playoffs because they got invited, went out straight away. The Circuito event, they were getting close towards qualifying to the LAN finals, but they couldn't quite do it. Thunderpick, they couldn't make the playoffs either. So it's not as if they're going out in last place, and they're certainly getting a few wins under their belt, but they're just not pushing on enough. And I think this is the series and the layup that you're hoping for. Get yourself some good confidence in this opening matchup. Look to strive on. Look to see if you can get into stage 2, because now coming out of the player break, if you are Keydstars, you want to just sort of one-up what you've been able to achieve previously.
Well, Keydstars right now are looking to play up to their opponent's map pick and take that away in this series. Unfortunately, we are facing some more pretty significant tech issues, unfortunately. So we're going to take another, hopefully, very quick break. And when we come back, we can see whether Galorys can try and return fire and resurge on Mirage. A short break is exactly what it was. 9-5, we're back into it. Galorys, the rifles set, the AWPs in for Desh on the Keydstars side. Their first chance in this half to try and bounce back on the T-side basis of things. They do lose that first pick, but they return with 2 good trades. B being the target, Leo not been given enough time to set that backstab up, so the bomb will go down from here.
They might as well just attempt the retake. If Leo can get a kill quickly into the apartments, I think there's room in the round. Otherwise, you're pretty much just looking for exits and you're looking to save.
Doesn't get it, so yeah, these last 2 players will immediately turn their heads, tuck their tails, and run for it. Although Cad's maybe in for a couple of hunts if he's good enough, if he's quick enough. The timing's on for him, which doesn't seem like it will be, so... Number 6 for Galorys at least.
They're pretty poor in terms of the B defense. The protocol, you've got a van player and a player out there towards short. I mean, the arch individual is just util in the open rather than having your weapon drawn. As soon as you get an opening kill and you know that it's heavy out there on B, you should be able to synchronize off of each other. I mean, that's going to be a wake-up call, and maybe a chance for the in-game leader of the likes of Ninjas to sort of reel the troops in a little bit, make sure that communication's good. At least they're holding on to a couple, so the buyback is not going to have too many limitations. But if you are Galorys, you've got to look at that last one and say, okay, we're getting close towards a reset. We know that they can't have a huge amount of money in the reserve. Their loss bonus isn't really here. We snap into action now, we make this a one-round game. So we need to put our foot down here in round 16.
Quickly out into the set piece on the A-bomb side. Galorys wasting no time trying to claim some map space over the Keydstars side. Bomb plant should be secured. The retake shouldn't come in all that easily. Bats up with those HEs. Divine is trying to hold the back line, spot out Leo and get that kill in. Start things off on the right foot for the Galorys side. Flashbangs to move them forward. Ninjas will blind spray, but Back's going to get away with the kill. Allison lines up to the M4, and Galorys have full control.
Well, that's just really unfortunate. You've got yourself a situation where you probably lost a round you shouldn't have lost. You go into the next, and you know there's a bit of pressure on the line. You try and take mid as 3. So everyone's coming out from con, they're coming out window. And what are you up against? Not even a default. It's a quicker maneuver into a pop set up towards A. No A defense. I mean, really, the plug probably should have got pulled as soon as they took top mid and realized that A was being taken. They sort of search around for a little bit too long. I think when Leo gets caught on the flank out there towards T-Spawn, that's where you just save it with 4 alive. Instead, they just keep brute forcing numbers out there towards the CT spawn. They try and flash around the corner. It's not successful, and there is now, even though it's a slimmer, a bit of hope, a bit of opportunity for the T's.
Indeed, there is. First chance to answer back and get involved in the second half, but could have easily turned the way of the Keydstars side in terms of this map had they lost it. So a very important round for Galorys to take, forcing the first tactical timeout out of the opposition.
And this might be the real only chance you're going to get on Mirage in terms of generating a round streak, putting pressure on the favorites, getting your economy in a good order. They just haven't had these previous opportunities.
Upgrade pistols only for the Keystars side. And out into mid for Cads, will try and lead them. And Dash and his AWP is standing by to receive. The only weapon of worth for Keystars in this setup. You're looking at him to be the basis of a steal round if it comes to it all.
Well, it's fairly gambly towards A, and they leave the AWP out on that B bomb side. So if Dash can get a contact, if you can drive distraction, then you hope to pull as many of those T-side players into A as possible.
Shot missed, the man goes down. And that's all the potential wiped out for Keystars in this round. And Galorys will close the gap on what was looking like it's going to be a bit of a one-sided end for the Keystars side. Looks like it might get a lot more close than even that.
Even the lurk attempt isn't too important, but look, they don't know what else has been reinvested. They don't know how much armor has been bought down by the CTs. So get yourself in a position where you can just create a little bit of impact towards the end of the round. And Divine out here in top mid has not quite caught the timing against the Jiggler. He's seen one. Bob's going to get planted towards A, and Galorys are going to get an easy 8th.
Not quite going to hunt Divine either, so no damage against the Galorys side. Be nice if Vinabes could try and recover a rifle from here, but just too many players, so there just seems so impossible. And the gap will close. 9-8 will be the scoreline. Doesn't even get away with that kill, and Allison felt like the headshot was perfectly placed for him, but inaccuracies are going to come back to bite you. Keystars on the reinvestment. Desh immediately in with the AWP, and the M4s for everybody else. I'm not seeing a kit, though.
Keystars have already attempted a heavy mid-take, so we probably won't see that again from them in a little while. We could see Dash getting a bit more aggressive, maybe getting a fast boost towards the apartments with the orb, getting in there towards A main, just having a little bit more impact at the start of the round. And Leo has got the AWP out there towards the stairs, so Ninjas and Dash want to put some offensive down.
Shot on for Desh, lands on Pepe. Ninjas did go down first up though, so it's still a 4 versus 4. Acting out real quick, but Desh isn't done in the open. He doesn't land that third. Divine's AWP can return. Leo's backed up. Cad's starting towards connector. Turns quickly, 180 for the double. As Vinabes goes down as well. And Flash has got to dash right out of there. Hold on to his gun. Galorys might even hunt him down. Cads is on the move.
You wonder how that's happened. So you've got a fantastic display from the AWP. Divine probably shouldn't have even been in a position to get to. He's standing tall. He's creating a chance in the round. And then somehow, some way, short player is aggressive. Leo is in top con. And yet there's a T-side lurk coming up connector undetected. So it's have to be a pretty crazy timing for that to happen. But that's just more frustration there. How has that happened? How has that exploitation been gained? We're seeing a lot more pace from Galorys on their T-side than what we saw from Keystars on their first half. And now in a position on a 9-9 score. The buyout won't be here. Flash can drop another M4 to make it a hero. Maybe get some MP9 and armor down, but we shouldn't see a full buy.
They put themselves in a dire spot. And you're right, upgrade pistols only for the CT forces. Galorys will look to take the lead here. The first lead that they've had since they were up 4-3 at the first half. Flash will do well to get 1 kill, but no more than that. So many players up there in top mids, and the trade comes in thick and fast. Allison might get threatened by the player over at Palace on the balcony, but back to put his back. Allison will follow it up anyway. So Dash alone. Keystars wiped out. Galorys at number 10.
And I do know that when we have the lower level squads, we do get a lot less tactical timeouts than what we get with the more disciplined tier 1 or even high-end tier 2 teams. But I'm looking at this scenario and I'm thinking Keystars have been up 9-5. Looked as if they were going to wrap the map up pretty quickly, go 1-0 up, go into their map pick. They're now down by 1. I think you need to start calling in the tax and just slowing this game down. You need to be able to deal with some of these fast, aggressive moves towards A, because at the moment, pace seems to be the way forward. It seems to be the success avenue.
At least the M4 stays for Desh. Small something to carry over.
Terrorists win.
Max loss bonus means that Keedstars will be buying regardless. Pass that weapon off by the orb. And similar story as well for Divine over on the Galorys side. Big green gun in his hands. And a pivotal moment in their game here. They built up their economy stake, but this would swing momentum truly to their favour for a 12-9 advantage. And last second resurgence into their own map pick here. Keedstars. 2 players to watch out from mid. One of them's already gone down to the orb. Divine will be well known about. The T-side players move in towards the connected control. Vinnerbeast is forced to use an interior block away from potential aggression. Ninjas is tucked away and he's waiting for contact. They're inbound from 2 angles. Bomb carrier and all. Looks one way as the player peeks into the other. Cads will take him and immediately Keedstars are saving.
Well, I'm not really sure why Dash has just left him CT. Dash was out there in Spawn and he just rotates away to hold the jungle sight line. I know they're worried about Connector, but right there, I don't know what they expect Ninjas to do. They're coming up con, they're A-splitting, and he's in, what, an off-angled top balk. Bro, the best that you're going to get there is 2, and that's even a stretch. I mean, 1.5 kills you'd be happy with. There's just no way that you can stay alive. There's no repos. There's no way you can slow the round down in that position. He needed distraction, needed that player out in ticket to get out there and force a fight towards either A-ramp or Connector. Galorys just feel as if they've come into the second half and Keedstars have just collapsed. They're just not shown that same level of quality at all.
Terrorists win.
Pistol and conversion rounds been it for the Vivo Keedstars. Two rounds to the good on the underdog's favour. Tacticals need to get called in by Keedstars, and that's what they'll do.
But they're just missing shots. I mean, I look at Leo out there in top con. He flashes himself. He peeks against the Orpa, who's half blinded, and the M4 just doesn't win that opening duel. You then have the short player that's struggling to even find a connection against those con individuals running up. Gets lucky to evade the AWP, but I think just in terms of firepower and individually, we're just not seeing the connections being landed that Keedstars need in this second half.
Individually based. Complete collapse. Galorys have a lot of work had to do now being done. A lot of potential now capitalized upon. The Keedstars will need to find something greater. Quick peek in from Leo towards mid. Does not extend towards Pepe's position. HE lands on Cads to do him for a quarter.
A little bit slower here from Galorys than what we've seen previously. Vax is only just starting to come in towards underpass. You got a player out there towards chair, but not really much of an overfight. Now the CTs could retake mid. You got Ninjas out in con, Vinnerbeast short, and then a third player in window. That's exactly what they're going to do.
AK swing from Pepe gets his kill. Divine lands on Leo as well. Keedstars desperate to make plays, desperate to make differences, but just nothing is coming up their way. The Molotov from Flash does find a player up towards the top mid angle. The main player in that corner using that smoke. They know that he's still there. Flash bangs in to blind off both CT mid defenders. And they'll both have to back off.
And Ninjas can re-smoke bottom con, but Flash needs his kill on B. And at the moment, Bax isn't giving him much of a chance. It's just a little bit of an attempt of util, drive rotations over. Now, Desh is still very disciplined out here towards CT ticket. He is not moving with that orb.
They're going to start to rotate Ninjas towards the site, or will Flash have to do this on his lonesome? Not just the one kill on Apps anymore, it's all four of them. Flash is over, backup has arrived, M4 engages the bomb carrier at the 12-second marker as well. Back's got to go back and pick it up, or you've got to see someone lunge forward. It's Pepe that tries to do so, but Ninjas gets the kill in 5 seconds now. There's no time, they've got to hunt for all these kills, but not everyone's on the bomb site. And as it hits 0 back, we'll realise that Galorys' best chance to close out the map point has just slipped out of their fingertips. Keystars are still in the game.
I don't even think Galorys have made a big mistake in that round. It's a 4v3. They group together. They all exec out of the apartments. The unfortunate nature is that it's a pretty good read by the CTs. I mean, you've not only have you got 2 players on there at B, but notice how they give themselves that little lurk smoke out there towards jail. So that just drives more distraction behind that smoke. And Vinabeast aggressively trying to get himself out towards ladder. Could this be the return? Could we start seeing a little bit of a streak from the CTs now?
Nice HE on 3 men. Pepe, Back, and Cads all being tagged up, but Leo's the first casualty on Keystars again. A frag found for the Galorys side. Now Flash alone on the B side, much quicker on the hit this time. We're going to isolate the one pick, put that smoke down to block any further vision, but where's the backup? It's slow to rotate. One man trapped here at the ladder room. Cads, check for it, get that headshot in. Keystars down a man again, down 2 men here as Divine picks up Flash. And Desh will be waiting for some sort of miracle to come his way. The M4 and Ninjas can find 1 pick. Second one, not even possible. Cads at 9 points of health, lands his head. And now they're going to rotate to A. They know where Desh was. They know he's on the AWP. They know a retake for him. It's going to be difficult.
And Cads has had a pretty poor map overall, but that is one hell of a round. He has brought so much individual impact. Sharp kills out towards both ladder and then towards connector. Not easy. Might even be able to end it on a triple kill. Not quite. NWP from Desh should not even go for this. With where the money sits and it being a 1v2, I think you save the AWP and you play for overtime.
He's hesitant here. He's starting to move up. And Bomb could get caught on timing, but I think Divine's just now going to lock out jungle angle, so... Yeah. Shot to connect. Desh to go down, and a 12-10 for Galorys now. 2 map points. Only 1 for the win.
What a disappointing second half this has been from Keystars' perspective. With what they showed in the first, you've really only won a single gun round, and that's been it. And when you're a squad that is looking at this best-of-3 series as a little bit of a layup, you're going into the next one thinking that's going to be where the real challenge is, you shouldn't really be getting tested like this.
Straight kill from Pepe. He's just domed Leo in an instant. As Galorys look to take their map pick away in a situation when we thought that they weren't actually going to do it. But this second half resurgence has come true.
Especially from 9-5. And that's a scoreline in MR12 that is very difficult to come back from.
Took the advantage without letting Keystars get any more rounds from that scoreline, and as soon as they did, Galorys took the map point. Now they're up by a man in the 23rd round. Set for a B execution, where once again it's only Desh with no rotation support available to him. They'll prod out mid, but here's AWP, glass cannon I might add. And Flash also involved towards that short angle. This is going to be a tough ask for Keystars on the retake.
Even the late lurk in top mid should be able to just be the finishing ticket. Really good clearance of the bomb site here from Galorys too, making sure they clear all of their cubby angles. For Flash, he's just desperate. He's trying to make a play. He doesn't even have a teammate inside to help him out there at short.
Ninjas, Desh, and Vinabeast. 3 men that will save Keystars or stand by, stand guard as their chances on Mirage die out. Back with one, Desh with a trade, Ninjas with a follow-up. But quickly he loses his teammate, and he loses himself. 13-10, Galorys will take map 1 of Mirage.
And fair play to the underdogs. That was an uncomfortable map number 1.
So, with the first map of Mirage down, we move towards Nuke, where Keydstars will get to home territory. But the question on the forefront of my mind, Dwayne, is that individual collapse from that second half going to come back to bite them, or was that just a blip on the radar for Keydstars?
I think it's a blip on the radar. I think it's a wake-up call, and they'll have to realign themselves going into map 2 and eventually into map 3, but I'm pretty confident that Keydstars should be able to take their map quite easily, and then moving into the decider, I think it's going to be the same sort of question.
Well, Galorys will at least start things off on the CT side of their opponent's map, pick an expected choice for a map like Nuke, and now quickly going to face the fire of the Keydstars side. Leo's immediately down into the vent dive, the flashbang smoke support, but he's going to stick around on the upper levels because they're going for an A hit. Epic struggling to stabilize his taps of the Julies. Vinabeast and Dash can get those kills together as a result. 4 on 3 right now for the Keydstars' favor. Allison has just evened it up, and the back lines are going to get picked up, however. Back still involved at the rafters. He finds the bomb carrier as well. Ninjas is down as Vinabeast alone in the 1v2 clutch, spotting that player. Looking for the second. Decent damage being done to Divine, but back is the big threat. He's moving closer, jump facing, trying to spot these individuals out, trying to look for the heads that he's requiring for this round to come together for Keydstars here. They swing together, they move. Vinabeast trying to isolate Divine, but unable to hit the kill shot yet.
Yeah, it's all about getting both players individually, and Divine might give him that one chance. The Glock can't quite transfer out there towards the top of HUD. I will say for Keydstars, that was a very creative pistol. Now, oftentimes on a pistol round, if you've got a lurk door smoke and you get down in the vent, that means that you've got a lower player that's going to plant the bomb basically straight away, and it's going to be a ramp take for everybody else. Instead, Leo drops into the vent, making noise, comes up on the top side, and from first contact, it looked quite good. I mean, Peppy struggles massively with the Julies. The problem was, Jay, they just couldn't get the bomb down straight away, could they? And they had to keep fighting against those rotators out in heaven.
Eventually, they took control of the rafters in general, and no safe areas to plant when you've got that much on the CT side. Vivo Keydstars, once again, early back foot, lost the opening pistol of the last map, and the same sort of scenario here for Nuke. This time they have forced the issue on the investment, not saving to go for early guns. You have Mac 10s and Tech 9s, which will dive straight into the upper bomb site again. Allison's there for 2, goes down to Ninjas for 1. And once again, Divine protecting from heaven. Cad's involved with his SMG here towards the hut entrance, spotting those players. Back will eventually come up with a couple, and actually Ninjas gets 2 more. Peppy has traded it to 1v1, so it becomes expensive, at least for Galorys. But will they close out the clutch?
Yeah, this is probably the best player that you want in a clutch is Leo DRK. Now, he's got so many options here. He can go down hell towards A, he can go ramp to B. And if you're Peppy, you've got to know that he's not going to have the best of weaponry, a pistol, maybe an upgraded SMG somewhere from one of the players that had fallen. So much time left on the clock. This is anybody's round. Now, I would say for Leo, knowing the idea that you've got an MP9 and an incendiary, you've got to hope that you're going into the bomb site that's not being protected, whether that be A or whether that be B.
And the worst part about this is that you won't know until you take contact. Even right now, as he looks over the rafters, there could be hidden back in lobby or the site. I think he got the successful silent drop.
Definitely did.
15 seconds.
Real...
Plant that bomb, which will indicate what's going on. Peppy's going to start to move.
Yeah, just quickly, Jay, really good open plant there. So it gives Peppy a real lack of idea of where he's repositioned to after that bomb's gone down.
He's going to start to search. Leo tucked in the corner, starts to move himself, and the M4 gets caught. Literally the most perfect timing you could ask for. And Keydstars will respond.
Well, if I'm Allison, I am absolutely fuming. I am the door player in which I've got 2 kills, I've stayed alive, and I've given you all the info that it's an A-site take. He's done more than enough to allow that round to get 1. All he needs is that his default player goes 1 for 1, that the heaven rotation does quite well, and instead, individually, they just let themselves down. That's a great clutch to come out of Keydstars, and it's just the worst outcome possible now losing the anti-force buy.
The Because you're countering that with a force buy of your own, except very, very weak. Even one player still on a USP. Divine hasn't invested at all, in fact. 5-7s for 3 others. SMG on Allison. Outside control already being taken in whole for the Keydstars side, but no CTs to meet them, at least not directly.
I don't think I can ever understand the AWPers always trying to save money for a big green when you're going on an anti-force buy rounds. To me, it just always gives the feeling that you're doing it because it's the principle and that you have to, but you actually don't believe in the round. You don't believe that even if I go down to a Deagle armor or a 5-7 armor, we've got a chance of winning it, and instead you end up gamble stacking on B, and the round is just basically over. All of that threat that was generated from the pistol has now disappeared completely.
I think given the circumstances that you just lost to a force buy and you're on a single stage loss bonus, though, you have a lot less to work with in this kind of context of a force buy. You are right, though. It does telegraph that Galorys were looking more just to do damage if they got a chance rather than taking a round or stealing anything back, and even that's a stretch considering how early the save call was called in.
Well, if they keep on to 4 alive, which they should, it probably needs to be a lobby crunch or even a heavy outside. I think you probably don't play 2 back-to-back defensive rounds where you're holding on to upgrades.
Certainly wouldn't disagree there. Unfortunately, 2 do go down to the bomb blast.
Yeah, that is a terrible case.
At least they recover the SMG plus a 5-7, which they can pass it to Peppy, but the Kevlar would really have helped in that lobby crunch. Regardless, there will be no investment from Galorys. They will just take this one on the chin and look towards the gun buy in the next. But Divine can, of course, bring his big green out as the rest of the rifles also come to the fold. Quickly into the vent side, they look to go, and actually it's worked out pretty nicely for them because they're getting caught up there on the T side. Only Desh got down the vent, and Allison's going to find another kill as well. A 5-on-3, potentially drop rifles as well. Desh is going to fall back at half HP. They just lost Flash elsewhere, and the full eco may get a lot more done than the force buy. Only 1 casualty as Ninja strikes back onto Pepe, but now needs to clutch a full-blown ace. And AK next up, Allison with 3-4 kills in the round. And a hell of a steal for Galorys.
To be able to do that up against Desh, up against your old teammate, is probably a great feeling, but for Keydstars, I think we actually probably see it a little bit too much in some of the semi-pro level Counter-Strike. Just how frequently players get caught trying to drop vents, and then they get caught in the util, they're blocking one another, they're not getting down. It's a surprising call to make when you know that you're up against a limited buy. Oftentimes you see vent drops when it comes to gun rounds and not when it comes to limited investments. That gets really awkward out on the door side.
No doubt about that. Keydstars. I think she's on the cross. Peppy. They try and engage against Leo with the incendiary, then misses out there towards the red box smoke, so instant kills a start for Galorys' side. 1 man down through towards Secret has avoided the smoke. Allison might not be suspecting anyone down on the B side, but what can they do with it here, Keydstars?
Well, the double ramp play is basically a locked deal. There should be no way that they can get down to B now.
Flashes on Divine's AWP, misses its flick, and that might be the opening, but Pepe, 12 points of health. Molotov going to drive him back. He can't stick around there because he's got no HP to tank it. And back. Will hold back in the corner. Not able to deal with it for Vinner. Second player around the corner. HE down. Desh will eventually get his kill in, and Allison is up to task. But you still got that man in at the vents. He's undetected. He can't deal with Allison. The AWPer with his back turned. AK spray turns up towards the bomb. Plants up, but he can't stabilize it. So 2v2, another chance for Kaz to deny, but it's backside this time for Flash.
And Ninjas needs to help out his teammate because Flash is going to go down pretty quickly. And Kaz is walking up quickly.
And for Burst, second player, the AK's been hurt, so they have no reason to stick around. Quick pop out for Ninjas, distracts enough so Flash can get that kill in. And Peppy, again, 12 points of health, knows that he can't win any of these fights, so he'll back off and hold on to the AK as Keydstars do recover from the eco steal.
I actually have no idea how Galorys have not been able to win that round. I mean, let's just look at that ramp setup. You've got the AWP, another rifler, a third rifler. Yeah, okay, it's a low HP player out there towards Hell. Divine should just at least be getting one. He gets caught on util, it's a tough flick, whatever, you can create the excuse. That's one moment in the round. The next one, how does Allison not get two there? The trigger discipline is perfect. It's a free kill on the first. It's a free kill on the second. You're against a planter. He's got to get off of the bomb, draw his weapon, and hold down mouse 1. That is two critical moments in the space of, what, 20, 25 seconds? Just been completely whiffed by the CT line.
I don't think Keydstars are too happy with the way things have just gone out. That's a good pause taken. Even with that round win, so many casualties, so economy is not going to be all that well fleshed out after you see the final buyers come forward. Galorys can recognize that at their own right. So even though this buy will also look pretty disastrous, you're still going to look at a chance to counter the reset. If you could do it with USPs, and you can do it with SMGs and a 5.7. They're going to take their opportunities, as is their theme for this entire tournament.
Well, I'd love to see Keydstars do a little bit more on the outside. I think at the moment they've been quite cautious towards that area of the map. You've got a couple of rounds where they're playing up in silo, the top main, back T-Red, but they're not really getting players into main splits. They're not getting players into garage. At any time there's been a lower take, it's either been a vent drop or it's been out towards ramp. So you'd expect a little bit more contention towards that area.
Outside for two individuals of the Keydstars squad. Diagonal smokes. Molotov towards Secret. No one at Heaven can try and look down upon them. Divine does find a shot onto Beast. So there's your star, but that was all the way in lobby. So start to take lobby control on Allison's part, but no more from the CT side.
A good rotation here from Divine down towards the lower bomb site in from the vent. That allows all the Secret players to basically get caught. Peppy struggling on the outside for a 1-for-1. Still doesn't see the mass players, so doesn't quite have a read on the round just yet.
And a man up for the Galorys side.
They need to try and bait this AWPer somehow. If they cross him dry, they'll just lose the round insta.
Back in Divine. Finding the kill on the boosting player for the SMG. The AWPer still waiting. Unaccounted for, but he misses his shot. And Flash punishes instantly. Advantage still stays here with Galorys. And Back is still involved as he gets back to the rafters. And the catwalk kill for his double. AK leaning forward for the triple to deny. Flash doesn't know exactly where to aim, and he gets caught off by Back. Wonderful positioning adjustments from him. Keydstars just didn't know where to look.
Right now, I'd actually probably prefer to see Divine on a rifle than a big green. This is 2 rounds in a row. He's just missing sitters. He's just getting completely overwhelmed. And I think with where the economy sits, with how it's been a fairly tight game, I think it's better to just get him on an SMG or a rifle as quickly as possible. Get him on one of those MP9s or even an M4. And Keydstars will look to buy it up because of the economical damage that's coming in. Both teams are just trying to heavily reset one another.
Certainly not been the best of times for Divine in this map. I've been pretty good on the first one, but you're right about his performance thus far. Forced buy-in for the Keydstars side, and it's looking a lot more like a harsher eco. Back and Allison dealing with them as appropriately. The AK does get overwhelmed by a Tech 9, but Divine's not done. He's caught his second kill. About 2 men in the Keydstars camp overall. They're still working on this Hellman, so they will get that one more pick back, but no more than that. And Galorys are in the lead.
And when I think back to the nuke official they had last night of the 13-7, what they had behind them was a pretty good first half. Now, I'm looking at the 4-3 scoreline that we've got in front of us, and I'm saying, if you are Galorys, you're probably looking at 8, aren't you? You're probably realistically thinking 8 would be a good marker. If we can get ourselves to 8-4, we have a chance of threatening a 2-0 in this series. We have a chance to make it uncomfortable for the favorites.
Imagine how big of a moment it would be for Galorys to take a 2-0 in the Keydstars. Not impossible given the way things are working up in terms of this early half. You're certainly looking at a CT side where Keydstars can try and answer back from here. The momentum certainly feels with them. They look like they're a lights out unit here. They seem to have that confident flair about the way that they're playing their match. Even if the numbers don't always support it, you still got Allison top fragging in the server at 12-3.
As the door player too, not something that you see often. Normally the higher rated players, or even the players that are going to generate a bit more impact, is your heaven rotate, which is your AWPer, or your outside individual. So good to see that your A site anchor is 12-3. Very important to limiting those top site leans, but then also being there in vent rotations. Divine going for an aggressive duel. Doesn't see anything out from door though.
Back doesn't see anything from Ram. That's the smoke is in the way, and the flashbang as well to blind and force him back. It's in the area to block the aggressive forces of Keyed Stars. Ninjas will try and lead them into the B site slowly but surely. The CT squad players, only 2 of them are down here. They're about to receive.
Try and get that util to block off the glass. Flash is smoking off the double doors. This is going to force the CTs to swing.
Back takes the spray and fight. Kill gets found. Flash is down. Allison not going to make a move until absolutely necessary here. Hear that player moving up on the rafters. They check out Toxic. No, they don't. He gets his kill win. Can't get that second though. Desh makes it a 3-on-3.
You've got a quick rotation from Peppy, and Ninjas is on low HP. Late lurk coming through from the vent. Keep an eye on that one.
Divine just shut it down, and the low HP player had his back turned to Peppy. Dash now in a 1 versus 3 with that first pick isolated. Divine nobody down in the corridors. Hold the bomb, or peeks and picks him up. So not even a bomb plant bonus here for Keyed Stars.
Well, it's going to be quite frustrating from a T-side line because you feel fundamentally in that round, you've been able to take ramp. You haven't given too much of an indication that you're going to go down towards lower. There should still be some confusion that you can either try and take hell or go back into lobby. And instead, you commit to the lower play, and there's already 2 CTs there. You've got one on the mini ramp. You've got another player out there towards Old Toxic. Rotates are very quick. And then even when Leo gets in himself a good late round position of rotating down into the vent, he's just being watched by the AWPer. Things are going wrong, and rounds are going correctly here for the CTs.
How much Cad's going to make his move up here. He's on the wraps the corner, sees one, but Benabeast takes him. Ninja's found the first pick on Allison in the meantime, so 5-on-3 this time for the Keyed Stars camp. Divine has traded one back though, so only 1 rifle in the hands of the T's.
It's getting a bit scary though, because you're all a bit separated. You've got the Heaven Rotate that's trying to hold out on the A defense. You've got your outside player, Peppy, who's just trying to work some sort of info. And then your deep ramp player. And Resmoke can go down towards door. Now, Keyed Stars, they just need to pack. No matter what they do, whether it's door explode, walk out hut, go back towards outside, they just need to group as 4. If they do that, they give themselves the best chance of winning this round.
Bevian is back against the wall there to the upper bomb site. Incendiary is in his hand. The Orb of Divine watching. Flashed off as he dives back down to the lower ground on the bomb site. There's 2 more flashes to use for Desh and Flash. Shoulder bait attempted. Divine missing the shot more permanently. Exposed towards Mini. Peppy at the closed vent corner. Was he seen? He certainly has been now as they stagger their approach, and Keyed Stars overwhelm all of Galorys.
It's just another one there for Divine. He just gets baited by a jiggle. And there's no flashbang. There's no util that makes it uncomfortable. Oftentimes, as a backside player, it's when that molly comes in that makes it really uneasy. You get forced out into the open. And then, I mean, as soon as he takes a shot, he's just in the open. There's just no real reason for him to be that wide. His teammate is in the closed vent corner, so can't protect him from main. It's another big individual mistake, and I think that's probably the biggest hindrance right now is how Divine is playing. And if you are Galorys, I think from an in-game leading perspective, you just need to try and work out how you can use him differently, how you can slow down these exploitations. I mean, there was not much in this round at all. There wasn't even a lot of armor to go across the board. That's just a few upgraded pistols, a little bit of util. At most for Keyed Stars, you're thinking a couple of kills, maybe a bomb plant. You're not thinking a round victory, and especially getting free weapons from the opposition.
And perhaps nice to give Galorys a bit of a taste of their own medicine, because they did the exact same thing to Keyed Stars at the opening stages of this map up. big steel rounds came out of them. They make their way in towards the upper bomb site. Venombeast and Flash with their kills much more confidently held this time. Galorys overwhelming an instant after rethinking their approach towards this round. A save call seems to be the best option for them, but even back has gone down. And these last two men holding over towards Spawn and back at Secret, and you have to wonder if the Secret player may even survive if they continue to press on. Doesn't seem to be the case with the Keystars. Keep a couple of rifles into the next, which will be the last round of the half.
It's a really well played round there from the T side because it's completely different than what we've seen previously. They've been quite slow, they've been quite passive on a lot of their defaults, and then instantly, it's not even a top site pop, it's a top site contact. There's just no util being used at all. Excellent entries, great pre-aims. Peppy trying to do everything to survive out here from Spawn, but there's just no way that he's going to be able to live. I say that, I mean, even the USP somehow comes out against Ninjas. So they do hold on to one, and that means that another M4 can get dropped. But for Keystars, things were looking very uncomfortable to the start of this T side, and now from what, 3-6 down, you win an eco, you should be able to tie up the score at 6 apiece.
Excellent momentum swings on the Keystars camp. Because you're all right. Galorys were thinking about 8-4, 9-3 at the turn of the half. Both were rather realistic score lines. 8-4 may have been a target. 7-5 is the best thing that you can do. And not even Keystars could win from that advantage in the last map. 2 rifles to work for Peppy and Allison. Orp of death towards the outside. Sees one, takes him. That's one of the riflers dead already. And none of the pistol players in position to pick it back up. Peppy's going to have to wait and hold his nerve, hold it offensive, and even that doesn't work against Desh. The Orp lands his second kill. Third man round the corner won't be revealed just yet, but Keystars, they're in all sorts of control now.
Yeah, they're just scaling on the outside, and Desh should be able to get another kill out here towards main against the rifler. Right, it's a lag shot, and then they can just start spamming through the smokes. Look at how much patience there is. I mean, a minute on the clock, 5v3, they're not rushing down Secret, they're not trying to get the round done as quickly as possible. You've even got a late player in T-Spawn that's waiting for the CTs to lobby crunch and to take space away.
I'm going to start pushing on this lobby position. Divine with the M4 is out there. Is the backline player as well, so if the backstab continues to complete, then once again you'll be at least losing the rifle. Going to be a longer play from the likes of Venombeast though. Bomb will try to get towards bomb site. Flashbangs sent in with smokes as well with the CT side to try and take site access away, but the bomb knows it can take the backside. Over to the upstairs angle instead. Ninjas with 1 pick, 2 come back from back, but third player involved. Venombeast also gets his head taken off, so Back's doing decent work here, but needs the full ace to clutch the round.
He can pick up a rifle, but no matter where he goes, he's going to be making noise, and the T's are going to be able to just attribute that quite easily. I mean, 19 HP, not only is it a miracle, but you need headshots on first contact. That's the only way you can win this 1v2.
This will be the most miraculous clutch of the day. Noise made. Re-smoke. 10 seconds to the stick though, and that's the big concern. Not even directly smoke on the bomb. Dash gets caught in the quadra. HE's back. The spray does not come through, but either way, Back was out of time. And we'll close the half at 6-all. 6-all, no clear leaners as we go to the second half of Nuke, at least in terms of the scoreline for Nuke. Galorys still have a map in tow. Can they close out in 2-0 fashion? Keydstars on CT side might have something to say about that.
Probably not now with a 6-6 when you were in a position that you could have driven for a lot more. And this pistol round's going to be very important. Now they've got themselves a main smoke, a molly, and a couple of flashbangs. It looks to be a top side lean in terms of a double main split. The problem is the split might not even come in because outside they're being controlled.
Leo's called that first. Him and Desh taking a lot of damage to get that far, though. Into the upper bomb site, Galorys are going to look to go. Divine has picked up one on the way out of the round. And still down by a man here on the CT side. Bomb hasn't committed. They did enter into the open bomb site, but I'm going to reconsider a wrap back down into vent. Allison's going to go. Cads will open up the squeak door. And there's also a ramp wrap coming in from back who just got caught off guard. So as Venombeast picks up that kill, Keedstar start accounting for the B-bomb site.
At least you can get the bomb down, but what can you really do from here? Now, Allison might get one. Cads needs to stay alive, and he's got a couple of flashbangs. That's the only way that they can try and deal with these ramp players.
Well, that's a cash bonus for Allison at the very least, plus the bomb plant and all. Low HP for Leo, first man in. Not quite going down. Cad's going to get pressured from all sides. Allison get one kill back on the defuse. Leo's going to look to go. Full 10-second stick, and he's covered off as well. Quick swing, block. Cannot get Vinner. He does get him down. Oh, and he just runs out of ammo. As Leo just about has enough time for the defuse, it will just about be a retake for Vivo Keystars.
Oh, that's a tight one. Allison's been playing really well out here on Nuke. We saw some very good defenses from him out in the first half when it came to the door side of A. We're now seeing just some of the X factor that he can bring in around. I mean, it's got nothing going for it, does it? You're in a 2v4 where even your bomb site player doesn't have armor. You got to just do everything by yourself. Now, that cash injection, that does really help. But if you're Keydstars, I mean, they're getting an AWP up in round 14. You very rarely see that.
The power of a knife kill on pistol round. Dash is up. Set towards the red cross. The smokes are in the way, so he can't abuse it. He still finds Pepe, though. Now the 4 remaining T-side players to move on towards ramp, where Venombeast is holding solo. The rotation to be a little bit slow from the likes of Desh. Vinner's going to get right back down the vent and a ramp, I should say, and into the B-bomb site. Desh does reposition quick, and Beck's going to get caught for it. Venombeast turns down towards Cads, and Allison will trade him. 3-on-2 still favourable towards Keydstars. Galorys are so concerned about a backline pushing from ramp. Decon unaccounted for, so Flash will take down Divine, and Allison will get caught on a quick trade to Leo. Keydstars will continue the streak.
AWP just about gets recovered too. Get that back into the hands of Dash. So he got, what, a kill on the outside? He then repositions out there towards what looked like the hell entrance and got another one. So before you've even got the T's contesting the lower bomb site, the AWP is just generating so much impact. And now for Galorys, you've gone from 6-3 to now 6-8 down. Not only is this a tidy streak of rounds from Keydstars, but I just feel that on any map, once you give a favorite an opportunity to start generating more than 3 rounds in a row, they just start changing the complexion of the game. They put their foot down massively, something that you're not able to do.
Guys like Dash hitting shots like that. And you have reasons to be concerned if you're a Galorys fan. A couple of smokes they can put towards red box. HE's for Leo immediately going to pop it open. Dex takes that chance to take one player down. Second man gets away just about. Allison, not so much. 5-on-2 and Ninja, the smoke down against the Molotov will block any further progress from Galorys. Not looking at a bomb plon given these circumstances. They're going to have to find their way out of a corner.
One of my biggest concerns at the moment is got to be Cad's individual form. I mentioned it out there on Mirage when he had a pretty good 2K sequence out there on the B-bomb site and said he had a poor map, but it was a good round from him. That's one round in which he sparked interest. That's one round that we saw a defining play that made a difference. He finished Mirage on just 11 kills. He's now come out here onto Nuke. We're going into round 15. He's 1-11. I just don't know how that's possible.
Difficult to justify when your team's now down by 3 rounds.
Especially when the rounds have been tight. I don't think there's been too many whitewashing rounds. There's been some good chances for Galorys in the first half, and I mean, even the clutch that could have come through from the likes of Allison in the second. You just know that you need a bit more muscle, a bit more backing.
They've got the rifles, the firepower's here for this round. They need to make good on it. Keydstars could well go up 11-6. 13-6, but they're really going unlucky. SMG stands for attention first. Flash takes the first kill on the M4 instead. Doubles up on Cads as well, who continues to struggle. As are the rest of the Galorys side in this round. Divine just lined up to... Does that make it manageable? Still 3-on-2 for Keydstars here.
What a hold on the A-side defense, and I don't think there's any better feeling than that, where the anchors are just locking out the bomb site. They're just giving the entry pathers nothing. The best that they can hope for is a double spam kill from Divine. But I'm looking at this round, and it might be a hot take, but I just think safe. I just don't see what is legitimately possible. I mean, we've now got separation between the two players. Divine should start thinking about the save now.
And a 1-on-3, you're looking at very few possibilities here. The SMG from a range now just swapped out to the AWP. Dash does miss that kill, so chance for Divine now to go down to the vent. They would have heard that drop, so Vinabeast sticking around just in case. Has let him cross towards site though, so a plant will be secured. The HE will keep him at half points of health though. Flashbang into him, also make sure the man's blinded. 10 points health to the first fire and none to the second. Keydstars will make light work with the Galorys side again. A decent effort to bring back those 2 picks in from Divine, but need again a little bit more.
Well, I can respect the idea that they're not even trying to drop him before the bomb goes down. I think right there, you can get yourself into a really bad mindset, can't you? Where Vinabeast goes aggressively, goes out towards the rafters or the mini ramp, and then he ends up getting caught by the decon player, and it's now a 1v2, which is somewhat winnable. Yes, you give the opportunity of another buy-up, and you give yourself the chance now of basically going up against a strong investment. I respect that. I think that's the right way to play the 3v1.
Laura's going to figure out the best way to play out a half buy now. A steal at this stage would be lovely. Galorys have done it with worse before. They just need to do it here and now, and it matters most. Keydstars stand to gain a lot out of this scoreline in the next if they can take this one. And already Leo's taken down the first. Peppy did get the initial dink off, but with the AK in the hands of the CT side player, it means that Leo is going to get away with the pick instead. He can do more damage on towards Cads. Allison and back can't do anything to their own. Walk out towards the top end of the squeaky door. Triple in for Vinabeast. And one more kill for Desh for the road. 11-6, 2 more to go.
And you'll never know exactly how to pinpoint certain rounds and ramifications because you're always going into the fantasy conversation, the what if. But if you were 6-3 up and you lost it against a full buy, you could kind of give it a bit of stock, couldn't you? Say, okay, we lost it to a full buy, whatever. The fact that you were 6-3 up and lost it to a legitimate Tech 9 low investment round and then haven't won a single round from that point onwards, just a bit of an embarrassment, really. I know it's not your map pick and it's a weak map in the pool, but I just don't think there's excuses for it.
It's moments like that that will cost Galorys any chance here. I mean, they haven't gained a single round of the half, meaning that they really haven't contested anything in realistic terms, right, in tangible terms.
I think the only round was probably the Allison 2v4 that then went into a 1v3. I mean, that was almost a miracle for him to try and win that round.
Dash lands on Pepe and on Divine, and he is hitting some serious shots now. Top fragger of his side. Allison leading in the server overall, which makes you just sort of contrast those high fraggers of the Galorys side and then the low single-digit numbers of Divine at 8, Cads at 1, not been their game, and you sort of look at that and you think maybe if Allison had a bit more help, then maybe Galorys would be in a far better position than this, at least.
Yeah, if Divine could just hit an AWP shot and Cads could just get any kill, no matter on any weapon possible, you'd probably bang on. It's been slamming, and it's maybe a good discussion to have about what we think about the AWPers moving into Dust too, because I think Dash has been quite consistent, whereas Divine, I mean, he's just been sleeping on sitters. It's not been a great map for him by any stretch.
We're back, we'll recover Leo and the bomb. Got Allison lurking upstairs. Ninja's going to be ready for this man. Is he more focused on that vent uptake? Back and Allison just got a couple of kills, 2 versus 2. Possibilities are abound. Bomb plant will be secured on A. Allison needs to be the one to make the play though. Back is so low.
Well, Back just needs to not die because Allison's going to get out here towards heaven. So if Back gets out to lobby, hut, door, wherever it is, as long as he stays alive, the chance of winning this round's pretty high.
Allison heard that man making noise there. Dash's Back's turn. Kill gets found. Vinabeast is all that remains. And it looks like they stumbled across a miracle. Vinabeast will upgrade to that AK. Kit's in play. No smoke for him, though. He knows the player's out towards heaven. Just got tapped in the shoulder. Taps that bomb in the meantime. Allison moves. And Vinabeast gets the kill, but has he got enough time for it? It'll be damn close. But it's not enough. Galorys fend off Matt points.
If you are Kid Stars, you're still thinking that we're in a banging position. Everyone dropped, which means the buy state's going to look really weak. You're not going to have AKs out for everybody. You're certainly not going to have a big green for Divine. So a tactical timeout comes through because, yeah, of course, you break the streak. You finally get your first round up on the board. And Allison does very well to be able to not only catch the timing of the door player, but get out there to main, get himself out towards heaven, strike immediately, and then just about waste enough time to make sure that that round is not being stolen. 21 and 13. He has played incredibly well out here on Nuke.
It might come down to him being the only reason why Galorys would make this map look decent. And I mean, it's a stretch to say this, but to take Nuke at this juncture.
But then in that case, would you not give the AK to him? I mean, it's in the hands of Back right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was going to get onto my point about. It's like, give him the best weapon so he can have the most impact. But no, it's a Galil instead. Allison has been the impact man. Made the difference in that last round, and made a difference across this map. Certainly provided quite a lot of tangibility for Galorys during the last map as well. A 1.37 is his rating. Vinabeast gets forced up in the Molotov, does take down Pepe to start. Cads will trade him for his second kill of the game in round 19.
It's good info on the outside. They know that it's quite heavy. Now, the door player is not dropped, and the vent player is not dropped. Leo's got a really good timing against Back that was deep there on the outside. And now down towards Secret. There's no resistance. So you'd expect at some point that Dash is going to go down with the big green, or one of the vent players will drop. Otherwise, they could just keep it quite heavy and play retake because of the man up.
Should be noted that the casualty at Back's taken has lost the AK as well for the T side. Allison is moving close to his position. He does look to grab that AK real quick. Making noise out here, though, just being a lurk element. Taking away from his teammates, get the kill onto Ninjas. Tag to 28, though. Any more attention might end up costing him his life. The Orb's watching downstairs. Cads has snuck towards the back lines of the corridors, and Allison has finally dropped to an engagement against Flash. 3 on 2. Keen Stars mostly unscathed. Dash heard the decon door open, the smokes are in, the HE's come down, Cads will evade the kill damage, and you know the close. Molotovs and Incendiaries respond back, 6 seconds on the clock. Bomb plant will not be denied, it's inside of the smoke, but Divine is still low HP here. Cads needs to get aggressive, he isolates one player on the missed orb shot. Now Divine, a 1v2, only 8 kills found thus far. The window's popped open, but they're walking their way through the rafters. They're walking their way past the catwalk. Divine has no idea about the man. Flash was just seen. 10 seconds to the stick of the defuse. Divine gets his pick in. The second player drops right up to the man. And somehow, some way, a miracle is gained for Galorys.
It has happened again, and there seems to be very few times on this T side that they've looked as if they were going to win a round, and yet it's happened twice in the space of only a couple where they've been able to come out on top with just some really strange late round action. It's always difficult clearing the lower bomb site. There's so many places. Could have gone out there towards a glass. Could have gone out there to the double doors, out towards dark. You don't have a huge amount of time, don't have a huge amount of util. And you are right. That is a pure miracle to be able to win that 1v2.
So the Keed Stars were hoping for a hero AWP play into this round. That might change. The tech pause has been called in. But a 1v2 with a player that coming into that round had single digits on his kill counts. Never expect that at all. The transfer and opportunity offered up by the second player on the catwalk. And regardless of what Keed Stars opt to do from here, be it hero AWP or hero other rifle or half buy, they won't be able to afford the full set of weapons. So it's a miracle that leads into a serious opportunity now for the T side. 3 to the good on the favourites.
And this is now for the T-side line where you've got to lock in because it could be a 2-0. It's just you're going to have to work really hard for it. You're going to have to take all of your advantages, and it starts with opening picks. That's something that they've lacked. A bit quicker with the inner play. A lot of topside util to A.
Pepe leans in, gets Leo to fall down real quick. The AWP does strike back with 1 frag on the Keed Star side. Look at him. He's going to be real quick up and aggressive, but through the smoke back will just detect him. AK on Ninja's picked up. Going to go their way towards ramp now. Dash is in a world of hurt here. He does isolate the first man. He's got smokes down from his opposition who will back away. Galorys having to rethink their strategies. Ninja's taking that opportunity to reposition.
And the issue that the in-game leader has here of Ninja's no armor. So yes, you've been able to pick up an AK and it's a 2v3, so it's a winnable situation, but the aim punch is just going to hurt him massively. So this is where you want to try and search, and you've got to hope to try and catch a T-side player looking the other way, maybe with their knife pulled out, maybe with util. You've got to have the element of surprise here.
Tries to go for an aggressive peek and loses his life. The AWP roughly known there towards ramp, but they won't know if he's repositioned towards the bomb site, towards heaven. Whether he's stuck around. Little search coming in from Cads will confirm the info for them. And thus the plant will be secured. Galorys move to number 9. Desh can only hold on to the AWP from here. And even that will be denied by back. Recover on AWP instead for the T side. Keed Stars, however, cash is built up. They will be buying regardless.
And this is where I think we're going to get a change up from the CT line in terms of the positions. I reckon we're going to get the AWP starting lower. I think Desh is going to go out there towards ramp, drop into the lower corridors and play secret. And these are the kind of rounds where pressure starts building. You've given them a little bit of a streak. You just want to change tack ever so slightly. You want to try and use a slightly different maneuver to work an opening kill.
Quick down the vents from one player of Galorys. Ninja tries to give chase, but he missed the opening through the smoke. Vinabe's going to try to count for the man, and indeed he does. Allison is down. That top fragger again. They use it to his teammates to work more miracles. And they're going to find nothing there. Divine down. The lobby push from 2 individuals. Make it a 5-on-3 now for Keed Stars.
It's a real gimmicky round there from Keed Stars. The way that they fight against the lower player, I mean, you can see the confusion with Ninjas of the MP9 out there against the vent drop. But that one fight was so key. And then normally, Jay, we always say man advantage, CT side, you play the man up, don't you? You sit back, you hold defensively, you play good crossfires. They get on the front foot and they catch what the AWP, tunnel vision, scope in towards door. Now you sit back and you hold crosses. Now you sit back and you play defensively. The T's have just got to clear out so much of lobby, and it's going to take so long. I think they just save it. I really don't think there's even a point attempting this round.
I feel like Galorys might agree with you, yeah. They're falling back. No further surge forward from the Keyed Stars side. They're wary there might be a late execution. The round is over and they will be on map point at 12-9. Exactly the same circumstances that Galorys were on their own map pick.
Counter-terrorists win.
Weapons will get dropped and rebought. There will be limitations for the Galorys side, and really not the best case for them, given that they need to kind of win these next 3 rounds to stay alive in this map up. At least they've already got one under their belts. They won't be eliminated with losing out Nuke. Those 2-0 opportunities may have already fallen by the wayside here.
Leo going really aggressive on the outside, working around the one smoke, and it is just cat and mouse out here of who catches each other first. It looks as if Peppy should be able to get the jump, and yes, that is what happens.
Just seeing that body fade through the smoke. Peppy starting things off for the Galorys side. Keyed Stars. 2 men on the upper bomb site. 2 men from ramp starting to press on the ramp access. The AWP of Divine is watching for it. At least he was. We've got other riflers that will look to try and take charge. The AWP unaccounted for. Shot rings in. Vinabeast drops the bomb. That's all important towards the Keyed Stars side, because now Galorys have to retake this position on the map to get it back. And Divine just hit 2 AWP shots elsewhere, so that might turn attention back here. The last 2 men are the 2 ones defending the bomb.
So they've got time that they can play off of this. They've still got 2 HEs. And they're worried about the backstab now. Vinabeast needs to try and catch this Heaven player. Needs to try and get a good timing.
Check lockers and the Hell entrance. The Heaven angle unaccounted for yet. Desh and his AWP. Turns to attention and loses the AWP battle. Vinabeast in back towards Mini, hoping to catch rotations. He'll get that kill together and immediately dive down the vents, try and focus on the B bomb site, but recognizing it's still a 1 versus 3, you need an ace clutch to get this round, and with them being grouped, with his HP being less than 40, he wants to hold on to his weapon as Galorys will stay alive.
And it should be noted, it's been a pretty poor series overall from Leo DRK. This is a guy that's played at 2 Pro League finals on LAN. This is a guy that's played at a Tier 1 level, yet it be years ago. You do expect a pretty consistent game from him, and he drops, what, 12 and 18 out on map 1, and he's 12 and 16 on map 2. When you're the most experienced player on server by quite a distance, I do expect a lot more from him. Especially the role. I mean, the outside player on the city side of Nuke, you should be frying. You should be a guy that's always involved in action. And he was the opening casualty. He was the reason that that round collapsed.
It's 1 out of 3. The Galorys need to take us to OT. The second one should be easy. Only rifle being on Vinabeast. Everybody else onto upgrade pistols alone. Struggle to get that first fight together, but Allison does manage to do so. Vinabeast is down. CT's going to go for the lobby crunch, even lose a second player to that AK, but Leo keeps control. And the man advantage stays with the T side.
And now the players are scaling down to lower. Now Leo might be able to get 2. If he gets himself in a good position, He's given himself a real off angle. Normally you play up there towards the rafters where you're blocked by the silo against the single door. Instead, he's trying to hold on to the glass at the observation window.
Oh, both of the doors are closed, so the one angle where you can get a jump upon them or to just give yourself information instead. It does end up to a more standardized angle just in case ramp is a point of contention. No one else is watching that for the CT side, at least not from the lobby entrance. Noise is being made, smokes are coming down. Keedstars, pistol players not going to rotate too quickly. The AK now revealed and dealt with. So Galorys will take us the full 24-round distance on Keedstars' map pick. They're giving this a good old college try. Giving Keedstars a run for their money.
And this is an excellent shift. It's not easy from the scoreline of where they were at to be able to kind of hang on, to feel as if you do at least have something left in this matchup. So I'm now looking at things and, I mean, all the pressure's on Keedstars, isn't it? All the pressure is on the favorites to make sure that they convert. I mean, Ninjas can have a quick little go to hope to try and drive economy, try and drive players down towards a bomb blast, but even that's not happening.
Nice try, but not to be. You have to ask that question whether Keedstars are dealing with the pressure well in this series, because remember, it's not the first time they've had a commanding lead over Galorys and still not been able to close out as proficiently. It was 9-5 on map 1 when Galorys brought it back 6 in a row to go to the lead and eventually close out that map. And here on T side, from a 6-all stance to an 11-6 deficit, and now teetering on the edge of overtime as Keedstars have been teetering on the edge of winning this map for the last 2 rounds. Their third and final chance at closing out Nuke and taking us to Dust 2. Galorys want to play on.
You just start wondering what the action is going to be to dealing with Allison. Because I get the vibe here in round 24. He's going to be another critical player, isn't he? He's going to be the player that is going to make the difference to try and force this into OT.
Kills on Leo immediately into his first couple of kills on Back and Cads. And just like that, Galorys may have had the wind taken right out of their sails. Peppy on 26. The fast plays of the T side have gone awry. He might find Dinner Beast. Oh, but he misses his chance. Kills found at 2. Now 1 man that remains on the Galorys side. They fought valiantly. They brought a hell of a comeback and brought a hell of a T side, but it seems to all be in vain for them as Keedstars at the 11th hour will push us to a 3rd map.
And you really can't reflect to say at 6-3, if they won that anti-eco against the Tech 9s, they probably win this map. It's one of those situations of the what-ifs and pinpointing individual rounds. A shame on the last in regulation that you try and run outdoor and you're just being spammed instantly. I mean, Leo, the outside player, catches 2 individuals just trying to rotate down the bench, just trying to drop towards that lower bomb side. So a good effort there from the...
All right, it's time to get this started. The final map of the best of 3, Galorys and Vivo Keedstars. Keedstars have just pushed this far. Can they finish the job that they started? Will Galorys finally at the series win to push on in the South American Pro League qualifier? We've got Julie set to back and utility for Ninjas.
They're looking to contest long quite heavily for the CT side, bringing 4 players out to start. Got yourself an early re-smoke from the B side anchor and quick into mid up towards short. This is going to get heard pretty quickly by the CT line rotating out to spawn.
And push on towards that longhouse position to set the backstab in, but it might come in a little bit too late. Divine, good shot on. 2nd kill for Peppy as well as Desh goes falling the same. And Keydstars locked down the initial stance of things. Allison is going to get traded finally as the backline players do push on. Ninja gets a double out of the sequence actually, but exposed towards the mid-to-be individuals, gives back his kill. And a bomb plant the Keydstars need to secure now, down by a man.
Yeah, Flash needs to fight because he is alone on the bomb site. Looks like Leo wants to backstab out towards short. This is very risky because it means that for Flash, he needs to stay alive for a good 15, 20 seconds out here at ramp.
They're creeping in quick though. Here's those footsteps, takes a fight, drawing attention away from that short flank. They drop in against him, he finally goes down, but Leo's taking a chance to strike against the first man. Second edge shot doesn't come quite as easily as back takes him, and will hold the defuse. A triple in the round for the Julies, and a pistol win for Galorys.
Well, it's well done from the B-side anchor of back. I mean, it gets into a position where you don't even expect much success being landed by the T-side. They're basically completely trapped out there on the mid doors. They can't go spawn. They're trying to go B. You got flankers out there from the longhouse. You've got players on B directly, and yet somehow, someway, they get themselves out of trouble slightly. Ninjas gets a couple of kills. They shift that bomb up. They get it planted, so they will look to be force buying into round 2. You've got yourself quite a few M4s on the investment for both the B player and for Peppy, just to look at things and say, we might be up against the force, so let's make sure we're not investing into too many SMGs. Oh, missed Osmo.
Scout missing out from Divine as well. Allison's good for one pick at least into the back lines, but they will overwhelm the outside of sight players. Bomb carrier gets caught out towards Car though, so back to throw Spanner into the works here for the T-side line. Desh needs this Deagle shot or to smoke off the man. And you're going to push forward that SMG. Finally overwhelmed players looking for Peppy caught one. Leo with one pick. He's traded very quickly after that. Defuse successful, retake successful, 2-0 for Galorys.
And it doesn't matter if Dust 2 is a map that you play very infrequently or even a map that you pick. When you are playing Dust 2 in a best of 3 in a Pro League qualifier, you can't afford to have sloppy util. I mean, how you are missing that door smoke, I couldn't tell you. That is a simple piece of util that is basically riding on the entire round, isn't it? I mean, you be Russian. You go in for a quick exec. You need that coverage. You need that support to cross out to the big box and to get to the backside. It's just an instant punishment. And then what you end up finding is that another resmoke goes down towards the doors, which wastes more util. And Keydstars won't be investing that heavily again because of the way that round went down. So it's a good start for the CTs.
Still bring a Galorys in for Leo, see if he can get anything out of it. It's the two long players that strike first, and Allison just puts them down. Nades onto Ninjas, out towards mid. Actually does find Divine. He's doing rather well with his pistols in awkward situations like that, particularly in mid. But it's still not to a man advantage, not even to an even trade, with Vinabeast actually having to get the headshot back onto the next player. 3-on-3 now. Ninjas does get found.
It's just a bit of an unlucky timing. Try and scale just when the rifle does the exact same thing. Now, out to long, you've got both the AWP and the rifle with a bit of a vertical crossfire between the two of them. And Vinabeast can pick up a rifle, so for his teammate, but are you banking on much in this 2v3? You might just have to contact up long the whole way to the bomb site. It's going to be a tough round.
At least Galorys have pushed on towards short, hoping for a rotate, but the smoke down and that CT cross is going to indicate otherwise. Vinabeast is going to get boosted. But no directive contact. We hear the footsteps of the one man looking to charge up, but in the end, both players will sneak across, look for that bomb plant. But again, down a man, the post plant.
Well, Vinabeast needs to try and take a duel before this bomb goes down, and that's why he's slightly widened up on the angle. Now, they've got to just keep overfighting here. They've got to try and retake short control if they can.
Looking onto that one man. Flash turned away from that long player. Finally looks to get challenged, being exposed in the open. Allison goes down towards Vinabeast. 2 versus 2. Deagle's picked up, but he's looking for a quick headshot. Incendiary's going to run off his vision, but he still lands Peppy, but he doesn't get the second back. Just holds on to a triple as he took the forward man first. And it's 3-0 for Galorys here.
That's an excellent effort from Vina. I mean, right there, he doesn't know whether it's better to go out to the Galil, to go out for the dig. He's hit some incredible shots in the rounds, and when you think about how clean that one dig was, you expect it to transition to the last player, but just couldn't quite stabilize. Now, in terms of a limited investment, I think that's a perfect round. I mean, you've got 4 players to drop, bomb plant bonus. I do look at the scoreline, though, saying 0-3. It's always been a positive start by the Keed Stars. They've always been able to take early advantages, hold on to good-looking scorelines. This might be the rare case in which we get something different going into the decider.
A serious shift in trends from the Galorys side. Because you're right, even if they lost the pistol, they bounced back in one of the conversion rounds and they took a decent streak or even a rifle victory and then returned to the advantage. This time they're getting dragged out rather quickly and easy towards mid. The one player at lower dark trying to act from flash, put down by the SMG, and Pepe takes the next man out towards mid. All 5 alive for the CT side, 3 AKs recovered in all. This is not looking good for Vivo Keed.
No, it isn't. Both teams are putting in a shift, except one team's getting farmed and the other one is farming. And Galorys will look at the case and say, look, Dust 2 historically is a weaker map for both of these teams. A lot of teams, especially these two, ban it in the second wave of the veto, don't often float it towards a decider. But it's come in, and right now the CT side are not only getting a lot of individual impact, but they're holding on to a lot of AKs. And I think that's a dangerous quantity right now, is how frequently are 2 or 3 AKs being held over.
It's a lot of firepower that Galorys can abuse time and again, and Keed Stars should recognize that danger. But one hero AK and Vinabeast has had the most impact of the players thus far here on this map. Only 3 kills deep. We need to see a little bit more of those numbers. They're going to pack and group together. And Vinabeast will strike. Allison down, back suddenly feeling very, very alone here. Bombs on its way. Fights on towards one, only one. Vinabeast with a double. And Galorys not even having mid access and control. Leo's going to cut them off from CT spawn, so has to be a save call for them.
I don't think much goes right there in the sense of mistakes. I mean, Galorys are just jiggling out there on the doors. It's a ripper of a shot to come in from Vinabeast against Allison. And then if you are back, you've smoked off the upper tunnels, so you can give yourself a little off angle. You can try and wait for them to scale out from the doors. You try and wide swing the window, catch a good timing. You only get away with one. There's not really much more that can be achieved there. And then you end up just saving. So you hold on to 3, give yourselves a good economy buffer. You don't just lose everything in the round. And Keed Stars might have to be looking at Vinabeast with what he's done in these first few rounds of Dust 2 and saying, right, he's going to be our danger man. He's going to be our go-to goer.
Terrorists win.
And the start finally sits for the T-side line. There's just one. Still 3 to make up to catch up to Galorys, and they're bringing in the double orb setup an hour. So you're really going to face the full brunt force of what the CT side have to bring.
I thought we were going to see double orbs at one moment towards the end of regulation in Mirage, just with how struggles we were seeing the Keed Stars team sort of try and close out that game. This is now the first time across the entire best of 3 series that we're getting the double orbs.
So our backing and Divine can do with it, and a lot of critiques towards Divine. Chance for a couple of kills so far here with the rifles being out. Presently he holds on the A bomb site angle, back set towards B is the only defender out there. A little bit of mid control and presence from the Galorys players in Allison and Pepe. Hearing how describes how the setup currently looks. Allison catching Neo, the jump face, that a headshot placed perfect and an advantage. They're going to try and negate very quickly after the fact. Allison's got counter utility here. M4 in, swing back, Ninja's evaded it, and he gets a return.
Yeah, Pepe might try and overswing, and Divine just needs to try and hold out here from elbow, because he's got to expect aggression to come towards him. Flashes are going to have to be good to drive him off of this position.
Pepe does respect the smoke, but Divine's up to task. Flashed off position, Molotovs to the center of the bomb site. Second flash up, and he lands on flash. It's Cads who does get picked up on the return. Ninja's doing a lot of work, but now down to 9 points of health. How much more work can he do? Retake up for the Galorys side.
Yeah, Vinabeast needs to try and get some help, and they're expecting an anti-flash play. That's what the CT's trying to tuck from. Instead, Pepe gives him the goods, and now Desh has got no support. This is basically a 1v3 for him.
Ninjas make a lot of noise back here, so he'll draw attention away from short, but it's the CT and long plays to be concerned about now. The Orpa looks on, shot missed. Ninjas and Dash somehow turn it back, but Divine's up to task. 2 kills to his name. Ninja's still on 9 points of health. Where's the bomb? It's planted short side. Tapped once, Orp doesn't connect it! And Ninjas has pulled off a quadra with less than 10 points of HP. Miracles now found by Keedstars this time.
I think I'm just going to lose my mind if I see Divine just missing another sitter. I mean, this is just a joke. I can't believe it's happened this frequently in a best of 3. Sometimes it happens once, maybe twice in a map, but for it to be a regular occurrence in map 1, map 2, and map 3, why has he got the orb?
It has been a liability, I'll give you that much, especially in that last round. You make up for it for the opener of this one, but if you just hit that shot, that would have been enough. Even a pistol shot would have been enough. Keed allowed a second, maybe allowed a third. Galorys. Only USPs around this orb, rebought in by Divine, a hero weapon by every account. They dropped that first player, can't recover the rifle. But Divine's hoping they reaggress through that doorway. They may well give him his wish.
If he could just draw them into the setup, even if he just takes a pop shot and doesn't hit anything, just to draw them out into this cross, there's something to be worked with.
USP does come up with a kill in the end. AK picked up. Ninjas and Vinabeast have traded back 3-on-3, however. And A site is relatively open up. They're not wary of Flash, who's walking his way forward. The AWP is recovered, and Pepe does not hit the shot. Aim punch going to hurt him. Allison and back. Now 2 that remain. 5-7. Close range towards this short angle and catwalk, and does get a very good dink on the Vinabeast. But a USP on back in 1v3 not be good enough for a clutch.
Now that you look at what's happened post-round, I think right there, that's another opportunity for Divine that just gets wasted. It's a wide swing, no flash assist, no util. It's a dry pick that should at least be another one for the Orpa. And I think I've seen enough, like just in these first few rounds, from individual mistakes to what's been happening since the 4-0 beginning, to just say the Galorys just don't have a chance for me. Sometimes all it takes is a couple of rounds, Jay, and I think that it shows more of a statement than maybe what the round actually tells. It tells you about confidence, it tells you about structure, and from what I've seen in these last couple, I think it's going to be really tough for Galorys to keep their heads up high, to actually press on and try and defeat the likes of Keedstars today.
Well, it started well with that 4-0 start. The Keedstars are starting to answer back. Tacticals being called in by our series favourites. And the Galorys camp will get their next gun round together. The AWP back for Divine, the M4s across the board. 1 kill for Cads, the laggard of the CT side on numbers basis. And similar story for Flash and Desh over on the Keedstar side.
Well, for the Galorys side, you now start wondering in the mid-round where they're going to try and find a lot of their success. Because I think we've seen back look quite solid out there on the B defensive, trying to help out Allison in mid, and then also working around the lurk smokes. But it's been short and long. There's been some failures in the last couple. And Keedstars not bringing a huge amount of pace. They try and get the AWP in for an opener, sitting in the molly. Now, that's happened twice now where the AWP with a good spawn has tried to go for a long pick, but the opposition has just kind of given the respect. They're not even jiggled the angle.
And Galorys playing the suppression game with util. No major contact established within this first minute. Keedstars. Prods are up, back will smoke off the tunnel's entrance as having spotted the man. Lean forward, sprays are abound, but no one's been seen.
A good little info play there from Cads. Just a flash in play, see nothing out from the longhouse. This means that they can stack up the B-bomb site quite heavily. They can have 3 defenders there, and then Divine just needs to focus his attention towards short in case it is a B fake and they try and draw in over rotates.
30 seconds. Time's ticking away on the Keystars count. Side take towards B seems to be the call. Alison's only good for the one pick though. Low HP as he loses his teammate at back. Pepe's worried about the mid to B access, but that's shut down by Divine and his AWP shots. Keystars need to act, and Vino Beast is going to take one down. Leo's there to try and cut them off. Cads a kill back on towards Dash. Alison being a thorn in the side of the bomb site. 2 kills with Vino Beast, but Divine's taking out Leo, and he's too far away to take contact, so he will win the round from timer alone, number 5 for Galorys.
And it's quite easy to look at that round, Jay, on reflection and say, they took too long, didn't they? 20, 30 seconds on the clock, it's late on the timer. How frequently do you see 3 players on B? I think if there's 2, they get that bomb down, no problem whatsoever. The trades were quite good, the lurk up from mid was quite good. Where the criticism could be given is the lack of real attention in the mid round. There wasn't enough out towards short. There wasn't really enough out towards long to kind of keep the CTs at bay. So it felt like a very easy read there. And Keystars came in extremely close to winning that one, even though it was uncomfortable. Even the CT buy, I mean, when you think that that round is being won, you expect yourself to have a better buy moving into the next. And instead, yeah, you got the AWP up, but still working with a FAMAS, still working with 2 MP9s. It's not an easy weaponry buy to get behind.
So I've taken a tactical pause and moving into another technical pause. Galorys know they're going to need some more confidence if they really want to match what Keystars are bringing to the table. They want to supersede that. The whole series has been them trying to prove their worth, trying to take a victory over a team that are far more experienced, at a much higher level than them.
And think about how important both of the teams are going to look at this matchup to face off against the Sharks in the next round. Because Pepe out on Galorys, he used to play on Sharks youngsters, their academy team, and then he played up on the main Sharks team. And then I think back to Leo DRK. I mean, he played with Sharks in all those Pro League seasons back in 2018 and 2019. So the idea that there's a little bit of a rematch for both of these organizations going into that one in a critical game to try and get you into stage 2, there's a lot on the line. There's a lot of importance here.
As a reminder for all of you, the Sharks matchup that takes on the victory of this one takes place at 5 PM Brazil time. So not just in terms of their performances in the competition, but also performance on the day. It will not be an easy day for our preliminary teams. Fortunately, a successful one thus far for Dusty Roots, who took down Shinden on the mainstream. Congratulations to them. They'll be moving forward to take on Legacy later on today. Out of frying pan into the fryer in that case. Galorys. Broken on their firepower basis with the AWP, the M4, a couple of SMGs, and AK for flash, ready for the push out from the upper tunnels. 1 for 1. Comes in quick.
It's a good read again. I think Galorys are being quite active on their city side right now, making info plays. We saw it in the last round in the mid portion where Cads got flashed in towards the longhouse. We're now seeing it insta and just try and take lower tunnels, try and move into upper. And Keystars, I mean, they're worried about the flank, aren't they? With no map control out there towards that area, it's something that they do need to consider. You've now got yourself a position where it's going to take a while to re-clear the lower tunnels from this mid-access.
.45 seconds on the clock. And walk up towards Catwalk as Pepe. On the defensive, no kill found for him. Vinabeast strikes back, 12 kills deep. The key impact frag right now for Keystars. Kaz needs to provide similar amounts on his SMG from range though. Getting the first one to Leo. Damaged up heavily. Vinabeast could well go down with a good engagement, but Kaz is legged. The AWP of Desh can take him. Damage was done by the Orper of Divine, but not by a similar amount. A 2v3 for the Galorys on the retake. And they are close to bomb site here, so it might come up very fast. Allison swinging in, needs a headshot, doesn't get it. Divine's AWP. Very difficult for him now. He knows to fall back and save.
Allison has looked quite average when it comes to Dust 2, and maybe that is a poor sign moving forward for this side, because he's definitely been their best player across the series. And I think any time you go into a decider and you're just not quite seeing that extra level of X factor, it might be a bit of a hurt, might be a bit of a hindrance. And Keedstars, though, they just brute forced those duels out towards short and towards long, and now with the economy where it sits, you feel like Keedstars have responded perfectly. I mean, to go, what, 0-4 to potentially 6-6 is basically what happens a few times in the series, where it feels like there's a bit of a momentum shift, and then instantly there's a resurgence. I mean, it happened on Nuke. It was, what, 6-3, and then went 6-6 in the end.
We're looking for 5-5 at least here. Galorys grouped and packed towards the A bomb site. Quick hit from Keedstars towards B. No real resistance opportunities for these USPs.
Bomb has been planted.
Not really much to speak of in general for this round of formality, and easy work for Keedstars. Another beast. They do, but at great cost.
You'll take anything you can to try and recover a T-side weapon, get an AK into you. Keedstars get up to 5, and just start thinking about where they sort of sit. The idea that you were invited into this stage of the competition, that your opposition had to go through the open qualifiers. I mean, we saw them being tested, Galorys, quite a bit. I mean, the round of 16 went down 13-10 on a best-of-1 on Inferno. And I think that always sort of builds into the story, doesn't it? If you're getting tested in maybe the round of 32 or the 16 or even the best of 3 in the quarters, and then you come into the main event and it's another sort of touch-and-go series where you have an all rounds of regulation on Nuke, and these challenges are not going to be easy. You are going to get tested in every stage of the comp.
Another no contact default setup from the Galorys. Keedstars respecting these smokes. Setting up towards mid. Allison happy to re-smoke that mid doorway to ensure that they do not take any aggressive moves. That what could still be a point of contention, because there's no one there for the CT side.
Ooh, DC. And they're just in time, though, so they should be able to get the round restored.
Few seconds off the minute, so this will count as a lost round. It's a good thing that it came in just in time, because I don't think Galorys would love to lose out a man advantage without taking something in return. Very difficult circumstances they're dealing with right now. This round could well decide that they lose the half.
I actually wonder how long that precedent has been going for, the whole idea of the minute marker. I've never really thought about it until now, because it's been a thing for a very long time, but how long it's actually been, I couldn't tell you.
It's been a thing since at least 2018.
Okay, and what makes you say that? Yeah, okay.
I remember that because I think it was 2017 where there was like some big hoo-ha at like an IEM event where teams, there was like, you know, a stoppage, or like some player at DC, they played the round to the whistle, and afterwards the team that lost to DC disputed the round, and then there was like a big admin debate, and then, like 15 minutes later the team that won the round said, let's just replay the round. So then we had to like put something in place. I don't know, I might have my years wrong. I remember that sort of happening around 2017, 18.
Sounds about right, yeah.
So don't remember any of the details because it's been so long.
Well, I mean, we've even had different versions of the game in terms of the clock. I mean, there'll be a lot of people that don't even remember when the bomb timer used to be 35 seconds rather than 40. There's a lot of things that I would assume get quite easily forgotten as time goes on in Counter-Strike.
1:45 round timer, 35 seconds on
That's
bomb. That was the best rule set for me. I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, it's always difficult because I think your opinion changes as time goes on. But the games have definitely dragged out a lot longer when we increased the timer, especially at MR15.
I still think MR15 with the minute 45 and 35 is like the perfect
That's it.
format for me personally. Like, I don't know, it's like MR12 feels a little bit too much like it's down to like a couple of good swing rounds. But MR15 with the minute 55 and 40 seconds, that's too much. So yeah, I think the 145 rule set was like the best rule set for me.
I actually love that in Counter-Strike. About any change. Doesn't matter if we're talking about maps, we're talking about nerfs of weapons with the most recent MP9, with the clock. Everyone's always got a different opinion, don't they? Always someone thinks, oh, this was better or this was better. You can never fully agree. Like, there's just no way that everyone's going to be on the same page about anything. And that's what I love about it. Always sparks a conversation. Always sparks a bit of a discussion.
I remember hearing something that like in 1.6 they used to play like MR10 with like 3 or 4 minute rounds or something like this, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that's mental.
Well, think about when Go first came out, how many players signed the petition to not have incendiaries and Molotovs. I mean, that's crazy to think.
Yeah.
That was something...
Because that was new in Global Offensive.
Yeah.
We didn't have that in 1.6 on Source, yeah.
So that's something now that sounds comical, but 12 years ago, yeah, no, it was a legitimate thing.
It really has. It's actually been 13 years since CSGO was released. Like, Christ. Man alive. Yeah, what a journey it's been.
I remember when the Galil had a scope. A lot of people won't remember that one.
Did the Galil have a scope?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Galil had a scope in the very first couple of iterations of the game.
Might have to load up the demo watcher version just to find out. See how CSGO looked at the very beginning. That's for me to do later tonight. For now, we're back into the thick of it. 5 apiece, Galorys. All 5 players connected to server. We've got an AK involved for back, M4s for everybody else. And Keyed Stars. We go right back into the default. Similarly non-contact as it was in the last round.
It's what you find in a lot of the pro-level Dust 2T sides. Very slow, very methodical, all about making sure you get lower tunnels, driving CTs away towards short, and then just playing out the mid-round. A lot of resmokes, and Vinnerbeast is hoping to catch a timing, but he ends up against it. Now, it looks to be a B-site exec to come in for the majority of the players, and Back does not have any more util left. He's already thrown his smoke and his molly.
Entries up, Allison gets the kill, Back trying to hide around the smoke, but Flash is read him. Allison trying to take his right place, and they have no idea about this flank, but he runs out of ammo against the second player. Pepe's still in support, Ninja's going to take him down, but now he's being pressured by Allison, who really steps up with a triple in this one. Vinnerbeast, a 1v2, he's caught that first player, back line towards the CT spawn angle, flanked as well towards mid doors, and Cads will clean him up. Galorys with ballsy plays work out well for number 6.
Well, good to see that Allison is back. That is such a sick sequence. And respect does need to be given there to Back. He doesn't generate a lot of impact by himself, but he wastes a lot of time. He gives Allison an opportunity in that round. They can establish a bit of a crossfire out there from window, down there towards a car, and then once he gets in there at the doors and tucks himself in, you could just feel it. You could see that he was going to be able to deliver. And Dash hits a beauty. First time we've seen a kill through the doors.
Wall bang headshots, sit down Back. Incredibly difficult to hit those ones. You need perfect accuracy. And perfect timing. Keyed. Gonna try and take that with a bit of decent aggression as well. Divine sees him, missed the shot. Allison goes down, he can't recover. And once again, the AWP's missings have cost Galorys both this round and a half advantage. It will go 6-all, but it could have been so much more for them. Saw formalities from Cads and Pep being out, AWP's being boosted, but there's no way back from here.
And now you just have a little bit of fun on the post plant, don't you? 5v2, there's just no chance at all. And Peppy and Cads are hoping for some overextensions, but the T's are actually being quite disciplined about it. No one's overpeaking out here towards the door or the window at the moment.
They don't need to go anywhere. It's last round of the half. Peppy and Cads need to make the moves. They engage. Cads can get one of them. Leo's down low. Ninja's evading the flashbang. Peppy's the second kill, but Vinabeast with the AWP picks back. Peppy lands his next kill, but he's ran out of time. USP can get the next pick. Desh will hold them off for all that they need to. And Keed Stars will seal the deal on number 6. Another 6-all half advantage. No team leads as we go to the final half of this best of 3.
Counting up coins for a soda can, and there's nothing going on, no game plan, no plans. So I'm jumping out the fire, back into the frying pan. I'm trying to disconnect from the stats and the spray tan. Just another piece of data.
It's another drawn-out opening half to another drawn-out map here in the Keed Stars versus Galorys series. Dust 2 delivering on some fronts, disappointing in others. What's very clear at the moment is that neither side right now seems like they're in a prime position to take over the situation, take over the game itself. Although I will say that Keed Stars, not that they've played the better game, at least on this map.
It's been a tough one to break down, isn't it? Because I don't know. I feel like in MR12, you always have to look at opening score lines with a little bit more of a grain of salt than what you would previously. 4-0 up and then only going 6-6 at the turn just doesn't feel enough, does it? I mean, with the grand structure of what's on the line in this sort of series, in this overall tournament bracket, I think if you are Galorys, you just needed to be posting more than 6 at the tail end. I think you needed to look at that turn and say we needed 7, we needed 8. And not only just from a scoreline perspective, but also just being a threat. I just don't feel as if they generated much of a threat in that first half.
No, got away with a good few moments. That's it, just moments. Even when you think about how the pistol and the conversions went down for Keydstars, had to retake on 3 of those. Oh, sorry, for Galorys, I should say, had to retake on 3 of those 4 rounds. Pressured even when they were looking at their best. So once again, we're in this situation when we're just taking a look at all the data, all the info, all of history, and we're just saying that Keydstars are the favourites and proving it. But as was the case over on map 1 and 2, where they had those commanding leads over Galorys and still got pushed to a map loss in the case of Mirage and a 24-round victory in the case of Nuke. Is a similar start, as well as that Nuke from a 6-6 half. Is there a similar stance like that, a similar resurgence like that available to the Galorys side? And if it is, where does it come from?
Well, it makes you wonder. We're already going into the second half of the season. We've just had the player break. This is a really important tournament for both squads. Is there potential roster changes on the cards on whoever loses? I mean, if you're Keydstars, you basically got the core of swingers and then brought in Leo and Flash, what, a month and a bit ago? And then if you are Galorys, this project's been going since January. I mean, you just take LP, the game that we've got going up next on stream. They're meant to be playing with BSD, but I was checking Twitter last night, and Horvey was basically saying, now they've come over to our team now. So we're already seeing in this competition, players are starting to move. Players are starting to move into different teams, and changes are being made. It makes you ponder the idea of just what an elimination in last place could mean for both of these squads.
Well, at least for Keydstars, the recency of their roster moves may well give them a little bit of forgiveness, but in the case of Galorys, it wouldn't surprise me if there were roster moves inbound. Of course, we're also talking just coming back from the player break at the same time, so maybe the window's closed on that. The outcome of this tournament and decide the futures of these respective squads. Pistols live for the final time in this best of 3. Julies on Desh, USPs before others, upgrades on Divine for the Galorys camp. They worked their way up with 3 men out towards Long. Flash in to Leo to start looking out towards Shaw. Not sure who to aim for. His teammate trying to provide extra support directly. Ninjas runs out of ammo though, and they overwhelm the A-bomb site.
Yeah, Flash can come up quickly to at least put some hurt down from short, but Desh needs to provide quite a lot from the Julies and CT. And right now, Flash is not getting much of a jiggle. He's not getting much of a fight from any of these players on A.
Desh. Oh, what is that? Cads can sit down, but so can Desh quickly as Divine takes him. Flash is going to finish the job his teammate started. He gets that first headshot, needs that second tap on the defuse. He's got a kit in all, and 2 bullets left in the mag. He tucks his head beneath, and the P250 can't see him. He just barely has the angle. He can't hit the shot. And Flash will stick the whole thing and claim the lead now for Vivo Keydstars.
Oh, there is a lot to unpack in that round, but if you are the T side, you are thinking, how? How have we lost a 3v2 post plant? They are in a position there, Jay, where no one's over-peaking, no one's giving silly deaths. Yes, there's RNG involved with the jumping Julies, but they're not even a connection with Divine. Oh, I can't imagine what his mental state must be like right now. The tilt after missing AWP shots in the first half, and then that to happen in the second half.
Mental. All you can say to it. Galorys forced back into the second round here, trying to get back on the A-site campaign. Desh is M4. Ninjas is Famas on the defensive. 3 players over on the B side, start to take the tunnel's control, but if Galorys act now, they may overwhelm again.
You just start looking at the position of the info play. It looks solid from the CT side. Clear out all the tunnels, start rotating players over. Who is going to be the one to even strike with an opener? I mean, I'm looking at maybe the Galil out here towards short, thinking that there's something to work with there. It's just such a limited buy in round 14.
And M4 just took a fight. I think they know about the short presence. Smoke start coming down. They've been suppressed for now. Leo gets his kill on back. HE's up to provide support to try and block them as best they can, but Galorys are slowly but surely working their way up towards the A-bomb site. Leo's caught another kill though. They're losing men. They need to get some trades together. Got Dash back towards Goose, unaccounted for. He protects his teammate, drops the bomb, looks towards Long when the last 2 men are inbound now for the Galorys side. 20 seconds, bombs on site as well. They're going to go for the big plays, the big moments and the long styles, but not able to work. Dash removes the last. There's 8 for Keydstars.
That was a beautiful watch in terms of coordination there, Jay. Think about how many players on low HP out there in default just want to wide swing, just want to ego the short players. You've got the better weaponry, you're up against the anti-force buy. To have the patience and the understanding in what is a tight crossfire to just give your teammate full respect, to hold from Goose that he's got my back covered. Those are the slight little details. Not that Keydstars have shown it all that consistently, because I think it has been a tough series from them, but at times they have shown real good quality, and I think that's what's outclassed them against the opposition.
Should be looking at a 3-round lead from here. Again, we're on eco status for Galorys. Couple of Deagles available for some bonus firepower. Again with the short composure. Again with the A composition. And again, Keydstars are going to respect the positions that the T's have taken, but firepower is much more superior for them, so they can lead them into the site. Get the kills as appropriate. Desh with his 2 kills out of the SMG, so cash gained. The distraction provides the bomb plant bonus, which may well be the best thing that Galorys can really gain out of this context. 1 pick found as well. And Deagle looking for a few more heads, but Divine should not be getting this round out here.
And this is just where we need to go back to the score lines of what we've seen across this entire best-of-3 series. 9-5 up on Mirage for the squad of Keydstars, 11-6 up for the exact same squad when it comes to Nuke, and now another 9-6. What we have noticed across this series is that from the first half and the first few rounds of the second, it has been the favourites showing that they are the better squad, showing that they can have that scoreline difference. And I get the feeling now, Jay, especially with the AWP in play, with how they're performing, with Vinabeast up to 20, I don't think they're going to slow down like they have previously. I don't think we're going to have much of a contest in this second half.
You may well be right on that assessment. We also said the same thing about those advantages that you mentioned, the 9-5, the 11-6 that Keydstars had in those last couple of map-ups, and look what Galorys did with that. They've got rifles here. They'll have rifles 2 rounds from now as well. Ideally, we'll put an end to this streak here and now. Is that going to happen?
Well, maybe it is the coach sort of stepping in a little bit more for Keydstars than perhaps what we've seen. I mean, it's been a lack of tactical pauses from both of these squads across the best-of-3, but maybe just to be able to be in a position where you can rely on that extra person to close that game out, because you are right. I mean, Map 1 and Map 2 has had some struggles of closing. You don't want that to be repeating on the decider. You want to make sure that you close this game out as quickly as possible.
Especially because all this does is eat into your break time. Again, Victor will be taking on the Sharks side in their second match today. Already this series is pushed on a lot longer than many were expecting it to, and certainly a lot longer than these teams would have liked it to. Keedstars upset on Desh, unable to hit the first shot down there in the lower tunnels. Peppy taking some damage to the utility, but nothing major here.
A lot of respect being given in the opening gun rounds. Flash out there towards short to try and get Peppy a bit more aggressive. Now, Leo's got a HE by his side and one on him, so he might just start lobbing them up against the short player now that he knows that the access has been taken, the map control's been taken away.
.45 seconds to work with. Gotta make a move. Once again, it will be an A commitment, seeing very little action over on the B side of the map. Ninjas in an unorthodox angle here. Will they expect this? Maybe not even have to here. It was set up towards shore. They've drawn attention out there. Now they're going to go mid towards B. Flesh involved with this for Mars, but it's on burst fire, so he only gets away with damage. The Violent Cads, the first two picks, Dash with only one back of the orb. Vinnabeast held back towards Platt. 10 seconds. If he kills the bomb carrier, there might be enough. Ninjas, he might even be enough. Back gets one back, gives enough room to get the bomb plant in. Low HP for him, the AWP leads forward. Ninjas, he's going big ham, but the shot comes back from Pepe. Oh, and he needs the second head. Oh, what a round and what a clutch for him. When Keedstars had them on the ropes, Galorys bounce back.
All right, there we go. Now we're talking. Finally, an impactful clutch and a round in which both teams looked as if they had everything. Look at that flash assist out there for the mid player. You expecting that for Mars to get 2, maybe even 3 kills. It doesn't happen. Ninjas comes up massive, but it's the clutch on the reverse. The T-side post-plant. That round had it all.
That was insane. Galorys. Now need to follow it up. That one round win was important to their campaign, but this one is even more so. It's a swing opportunity to take it and put Keedstars in the dirt, or to lose it and give the advantage and the momentum right back to the opposition. Got a walk out from Allison. His rifling in general been so important. He's caught great timing. Almost caught that second play with utility in his own hand as well. Leo's forced back at half HP. The CTs are so far out of the bomb site. And with the money being where it is, I think they're calling a save already here. Shots of Desh missing. Back will fall back to safer positions. Flashbangs forward. He doesn't get a secondary kill out of it. But they've already called in the save. So even though it's a 4 versus 4, Galorys will have this one.
Just got caught napping. You don't often see that re-smoke. You see it sometimes where it's just to try and stall the T-side line. It's to make them uncomfortable in terms of getting up on ramp and looking down on basically the jump-up position out there on short directly. The first one comes in no problem whatsoever. The second one, it's just a bit of a lazy smoke. And it means that the timing is just all there for Allison. Keedstars aren't even being hunted when it comes to these last few weapons, so both teams can shake hands here. Galorys can get up to 8. And Keedstars know that this streak that was building for a little bit of time now has been ended, and now it's been responded to by a couple of rounds in a row.
One more to make up. And the return from Galorys will be completed a lot earlier. Last time Keed Stars were up on 9 rounds with an advantage over Galorys. It ended up being a map win for the Galorys side. And it repeated itself, history twice in the same series. Cads has taken leg shot damage to the AWP. HE's won't catch him. Start to rethink his point forward position. T start acting out to mid.
The Cads is just trying to fake out here towards short, and Flash needs to drop that smoke towards the doors on contact, and then get the incendiary in towards the upper tunnels. Give yourself the best chance of creating a crossfire.
Footsteps heard. Flash gonna put that smoke down, but he's missed the chance to save Vinabeast, who's fallen. M4 needs a big moment, can't do it. Overwhelmed, Keystar save again. Galorys up 9-all.
And something to consider, in the last 4 tournaments that Keed Stars have played, twice we have seen them get eliminated out of a tournament on Dust 2. One of them was Thunderpick, where they went down to Flamingo. They went 4-13 on Dust 2. They went 0-2 out of that series. And then the other one was a CCT tournament against Crew, where Dust 2, second map of the series, a map down already, ended up going to overtime and they lost it. And you just start wondering, is there something about eliminations in tournaments and Dust 2? Is that a little parallel that we can start to work with? Because for the most part, it was looking quite positive for them. Now, it definitely feels as if Galorys are probably the favourites to win now. It feels as if the momentum shifted in their favour. They're getting themselves a good streak. They're playing nicely. Leo doesn't even hold on to the AK, so it's an excellent hunt towards the end of the rounds.
They've lost all sorts of control here, Keed Stars. Galorys now face a half buy at best from Keed. And that will mean that we'll get to number 10 minus any major shenanigans. And well, for the underdogs in this moment, when you could have questioned whether they lost their chance, or you could have questioned whether they lost their momentum when Nuke fell by the wayside, to be in this position now, it's a huge undertaking, but a huge opportunity at the same time.
I'm even looking at some of the statistics. I mean, Desh is averaging a 1.24 rating on Dust 2 in the last 3 months for a player whose team is going 2-7 on this map. Not many wins, quite a lot of losses. But yet right here, we're not quite seeing that same impact from him. He's had the AWP in a few rounds, and he's been punished quite frequently. And Vinabeast has been sitting on 20 kills for a little while now. And even the in-game leader of Ninjas, I mean, he averages a .84 rating. He's had to dig deep. He's trying to get the team out of trouble here. Now, could this start becoming a collapse? I mean, the biggest round streaks that we saw was, what, the 4-0 at the beginning of the half. We're now looking at the position of winning 3 in a row on the T side. And this could definitely tie up that 4 and maybe even push it to 5 and make it the longest round streak we've got.
We're all squared up. We won't be for much longer. Pistols moving on towards back. Teammates right behind him, including that bomb carrier. There's one strat that might work. It might be this one, although that lower tunnel player going to get caught off back. Supports by swinging out at the right moment. And it's dismantled for Keed Stars. Galorys free reign of the B-bomb site. No chance for a CT retake here.
And sometimes you can get the feeling, just by watching a game, a feeling of belief, a sense of accomplishment. And I'm just starting to get that now for the T side. I'm starting to believe that Galorys have got what it takes to be able to close out now. It's been a tough series, and I'm sure they could be honest with themselves and say, look, we haven't played that well. We probably should have even lost out in 2-0 fashion. We probably weren't good enough to be able to win against Keystars. But just because that's the case in Map 1 and Map 2, that doesn't change what could happen in Map 3. I think right now, they've really locked in, and they've generated a good T-side. And they've given very few opportunities away to their opposition. They've tried as well as they can mentally to stay focused. It's going to be a tough day with tough officials to continue. But right now they've got a lead, and you can see it. It's only a few rounds away from happening.
One round advantage for Galorys. Another swing opportunity for them as well. There's no reserve cash. M4's AWP. AK's AWP. That's the setup of both sides. Single AWPs this time. Ninja's caught off guard first up. Peppy taking damage in return, but he's done his work now. They fall away from mid.
Now you just start thinking it's got to be a B split. With where the players sit, with the short access that they've got, keep that pressure on, but then NB. I'm looking at Flash on the backside and Desh too. I mean, we've not seen the AWP perform out here on B too many rounds. Flash has not seen anything. The deeper HE could do some decent damage and break open the smoke. How much does he get? He knows that it's mass players and he gets at least 2.
Back and Allison down. Flash is coming his way. He's giving himself a little bit of smoke cover. Burst fire in. Dashes AWP in the back corner. Lands on Peppy. Cad makes his move up as Flash catches Divine. A Molotov from beyond the grave will get that kill in return. But Flash with a Quadra has held his nerve. The blind sprays and all. Keystars equalize in an instant.
The young rookie's kind of got under the radar in this series, and especially on this final map decider, as someone that just hasn't really provided a lot of impact, hasn't been able to put a lot of numbers up, but out there on B, the utility usage was perfection. He gets away with so much impact with both the M4 and with the 5.7, and it's a statement call. When you've got a player that was 5 and 13 that ends up getting a quadra, it opens your eyes.
They're not out of the woods. Keystars are going to try and drag them back in. More fighting to be done here on Dust 2. But how much more? Both sides 3 rounds away from the win.
There's just no contention in the mid-round at all. No info play. And no peeks towards doors. I mean, notice how different the CT sides are being played. I felt as if Galorys were quite happy to fend off the doors, keep breakage of the smoke, have a couple of players close by, whereas for Keystars, they're just kind of giving that area completely. So the double A play with the triple player towards long in the last round, they've done the same setup again. Desh with the AWP is maintaining window this time. Even the Flash is not going to give them much info. Now, this looks to be an A split with a late lurk out from long.
Ninja's head turned away, fights and Cads goes down. Starting advantage, well poised on the CT side. Epping will try and make moves, try and make noise over here towards Catwalk and Shaw, but will it lead in towards a take? I mean, the bomb is out here, smoke's being sent, and the M4 close is dealt with. Divine quick flicks back. Peppy providing covering fire. Divine is low HP. The M4 sprays away and they line themselves up. Black takes down his own teammate in that exchange. A 2v2 ensues, but there's no time left for it. And Keystars just let Galorys be too patient sometimes.
Well, look at that round, and this is where I'm going to jump on the load timer on the clock. I don't know what's going on in that round. I think fundamentally they've just lost it. you are execing short with 14 seconds on the clock. I don't mind that, but you need to have mass players there. They've got a lurk in mid and a lurk in long house. Like, what are you doing? When you've got that low time on the clock, you've got to have mass players. You've got to be in positions to trade. They just didn't have enough bodies out there towards short to go against the A defenders.
When they fell, Keydstars took control. At least Peppy will strike first here in the 22nd round. Weapons staying over. Galorys finally getting to the ending stages of their cash amount. Keydstars and their loss bonuses have been knocked back, so there's an opportunity again to swing. HE's down, damage done to Cads. Leo flashbangs to his face. HE's dishing out heavy damage on Cads. He's thought that one to the face. M4 spray goes all over the place. Doesn't know who to focus on. Flash is so close and caught by Peppy. Dash took one back at his AWP. But no one else is coming his way. Ninja's wary of a mid through CT play. One gap in the smoke that Desh can utilize. Saw that second player cross, but he gets away without it. Shots ringing in from the AWP of the T side as well as Ninja tries to find his angle of attack. Found ahead, but he's lost Desh. It's all on him now to retake. With no kit and no util, he's backing away. There's no money in reserve for Keydstars either. This next invest will be rough beyond belief.
And Vinnerbeast is still on 20. He has been on 20 kills for a good 5 or 6 rounds now. It's starting to get ridiculous how long it is. I'm even looking at the spam that was coming out there from what sort of the car elbow angle. Why is it not burst and taps? I think that's just pure criticism against pressure. Just being in a state where you're fumbling, you're making mistakes. I mean, there's so much damage coming in with the HE placement, with the utility usage. All you need is a couple of good bursts, and that should be sort of 2-3 kills coming in. It's just none. It's just a continued spray. And Keydstars, just when they thought they gave themselves a bit of a lucky break with how much was being accomplished out there on B, with what Flash was able to do, the follow-up round, you now think 11-11. Surely Galorys take this 13-11. Surely they close in reg.
With the way the buy state looks, you certainly think about it. To Peppy around the corner, sprays of ninjas, tries to find him, gets the kill. They try and bum rush them towards long. 4 players total. Galorys will slow down in mid, not try and counter towards that B bomb site where you've got Flash on low HP. And gives Keydstars time to adjust. And Galorys play in towards the A bomb site here.
But they're just gambling right now. You've got at least the M4 in the hands of Vinnerbeast, which is the only other player that's got armor with that AK. Oh, timing. 4x3. Doesn't quite see the bomb. And I think now, if you're Ninjas, just save the AK. There's no point really attempting this.
Did all you could with a little buy. Get away with a rifle and a full investment for round 24. We play out all of regulation again, just like we did over on Nuke. But will it turn in the same way? Will it be a 13-11, this time to Galorys' favor, or will Keydstars push us the distance to the OT? What's guaranteed is the match point for Galorys. Walking in as heavy underdogs, one of our open qualifier squads.
Terrorists win.
Talk about needing to make a run, needing to press to gain your VRS points, if nothing else. The elusive spot at Pro League is obviously what everyone's gunning for and the point of why we're playing this week, but for them in their particular story arc, in their particular campaign, they wrote a run off pretty early because of the nature of who they are and what they can do. Maybe Keydstars might return them to reality as Desh strikes first against Allison down in the first 10 seconds of the round.
Difficult opening kill. You've got a lot of flashes coming out there from the T side, but he just about gets his first and returns. Gets out towards Car and makes it 2. Desh is on for 1 now.
Molotov sent, flashbangs finally catch him blind, but the second one didn't. Smoke down towards the car. He takes a dink down's worth of damage, and the Molotov extending behind the smoke. Close here. He peeks and gets a third kill out of it. Cad did not see that coming. He's doing it all, and he's lonesome. The difference maker finally put in his place by Pepe, but he's done his damage. A 2v4 now for the remaining Galorys players to close out Dust 2 in this series.
And they can smoke off the cross, but what they need is a vital mistake. They need an overpeak from one of the CT players. And as of right now, it's just not approaching. Ninjas isn't swinging on the bomb side. Even the wraparound player, Vinnerbeast, who's been able to get himself towards top mid, he's not overfighting. He's not getting out there to the long house.
Pepe really hoping he can get an AWP shot there. AK trying to lean forward, takes a fight back, takes a kill. Doesn't know about the player on the bomb site though. Ninja's taking him back. Pepe making a lot of noise, revealing himself. Scoped close to look long, look at short. Shot down, gap towards Goose. Saw that long player taking damage. He's wary of that short access. 1 point of health in it for him. Incendiary on short will keep that man at bay. 10 seconds, he needs the bomb plant. It's not going to happen. Leo peeks forward, and we go to overtime.
And Desh shows that he has what it takes to be an X-Factor player. I think across the series, we've seen some moments from him, but he definitely hasn't had an unbelievable game. He goes into a very critical round where he's not getting a lot of support. Out there from Car, it's a high and dry position, isn't it? Because once you're detected, you can try and play around the util, you can try and keep fighting, but you aren't getting assistance. For him to get 3, he steps up to the plate massively, and he pushes Keedstars in a position now where you can drive yourself into overtime with the team being really confident.
Tactical timeout. The Galorys to rethink and readjust. They go into OT on the T-side basis. We're so close. But one man stood in their way. The AWP of Desh with an absolute pop-off round. And Galorys walking right into his contact, his contention. And slow to the uptake, slow the default, and passive on the engagements of Keedstars.
Well, you wonder at what point are we going to start seeing regular double AWPing. We saw a tiny amount of it in regulation, but now with the 12.5k, I think it makes sense to start running it out. Galorys getting free access towards short as they normally do. You've got a very similar setup of Flash and Desh out here on the B-bomb site. Breakage to the smoke is a good timing for Pepe. HE in play means that Pepe's got the jump on him.
He's going to walk inside of that smoke and tuck himself into that corner, and all his teammates can start acting out towards short, so attention to Keedstars drawn out towards the execution itself. Vinnerbeast struggling to get kills lately, and this time will not be any different. Pepe's going to get picked up, but Cad takes back a return. Vinnerbeast finally breaks his drought in casualties with 2 of his own. Leo with support and back is known. Shot in the back. An advantage on Keedstars.
I'm pretty sure Vinnerbeast was on 17 kills at the turn of the half in regulation, so he'd only put up 3 more rounds from that, or 3 more kills from that point onwards, and then was in a big drought. So this is a nice little uptake in form to be able to get up to 23, but also keep an eye. Double AKs, double AWPs. In terms of weaponry, you couldn't really ask for a better buy here from Keedstars, and this is where you now need to start generating a round streak. Try and go completely flawless.
Galorys working their way in towards mid for their contact. Keedstars. Double AWP set in. One of Desh into short, the other Vinnerbeast on the B-bomb site. Swapping places. He may take first port of call, may take first contact against the Galorys side. Smokes come down, and he repositions.
Around the lurk smoke, it seems as if they want to try and approach. Look at what Flash was able to do last time. That AWP's just driving distraction, but gets caught. Flash needs to get 2. There's the first, not quite the second. It's a lot of damage, at least for the retake.
One trade from Leo may set up a bit of a retake here, though. HP tagged up heavy across the Galorys players. Are going to put that AWP towards back.
Oh, he's gone.
Incendiary sent back. Yeah, he's done. He's done. Oh my god, he's found the only corner, the only circumstance where he will stay alive back there, and they may get misleading information. Divine's caught ninjas, so it might not even matter. Leo, half the timer ticked, 1v3's clutch scenario. And the AWP now watching the window, he adjusts back to get that player, wary of the forward corner, but can't even stabilize the spray, and does go down to Peppy in the end. 13 all Galorys. Equalise the board again.
It's just a bit more missed util, isn't it? I mean, right there, I don't know how that happens. First off, the molly went way too far to the left. I mean, you can see him. Like, you can see that whole box area. You need to get it deep. You need to get it out towards the right. That should just be a sitter. I mean, if you're the AWPer, I'm surprised that he didn't just run out straight away. Like, surely you would have expected that you were just going to burn alive there. Crazy.
Kid. Trying to push forward here on Ninjas is part of the flashbang. He's of course telegraphing what's going on. He's made a fair amount of noise and all, but won't find anything for him. He backs off in the end. The AWP of Beast, however, he finds first port of call on the B side. His back goes down, and Dash once again on the double AWP.
Well, we're starting to see Keydstars bring a bit more of a fight in the mid-round than what we've seen previously. In Reg, they were very defensive, not making too many info plays. I think now that it's gone into overtime, they've just got a little bit more confidence behind them to make some risky moves, to be on the front foot. Beast with the breakage of the smoke, it's a bit early, so he's not going to quite catch the vision, but it might take attention away from Leo in CT.
Beast going back out of dodge. Oh, what a shot that is to Divine. Down to 3 men. Ellison's going to get one of them. Quick shot back. Beast, close quarters. And the jump forward of the window is going to cost him here. Leo now knows that player is pinned in a corner at this point. And the cross to Pepe. He took a leg shot. As he loses his teammates a 1v3. Flash forward. Sees nothing. Reveals himself to be close. He waits for Keydstars.
He's got no smoke. He's got no way to draw out this round. Keydstars are just packing right now. Good opening fight, but the spam comes in. I don't think Pepe could have done much there. You could see the intent that he has on trying to fight aggressively, trying to work a timing, but no matter if you go towards a window or you go towards the doors, you're just open for an easy trade. And it is a lead by 1. Now, will this hurt the Glory side, knowing that they were in a position where they could have closed in Reg? They didn't even need to fight out here on overtime.
Missed opportunities to close the 2-0 series. And they're going to miss the chance to close out Dust 2 as well. Keydstars up on the advantage. Double AWPs to respond to them. Back and Divine. Respective weapons sets and control towards mid for the Keydstars camp. They're going to take this one as slowly or quickly as you want it to be.
Just trying to drive Pepe off of this short line. You've got him coming down towards CT. I mean, it's now running the double AWPs from a CT perspective, but always having one on B. I think that's the critical change that we're getting in regulation. It's just how many of the anchors are trying to run the AWP. Allison with a flash ready for the CT player to try and peek out. And Flash has got a CT smoke set himself. But even Divine doesn't have util. So it's going to be tough for him to keep defending this ramp area because he's got no teammate in sight. This might be full retake AJ. With where the AWP is positioned now, he's going to get flashed off of the angle. So this should be a 5-on-5 post plant.
Look to to seek for a headshot just to get a creaky amount of advantage in before. Smoke does get flashed. Saw that man, but a second flashbang supports Ninjas in his kill. Bomb plant secured. There's a 5-on-4 instead for Keydstars.
Yeah, Divine's just pretty much trolled the round completely. You needed to play 5-on-5 retake there. Needs to fall back towards long. That's a sitter of a kill with a flash assist. And now it's going to make it really difficult for the retakers.
HEs will do damage to Vinabeast. Pepe trying to look for a kill, though. Vinabeast can strike onto back. AK a flash. Gets the next from mid lurk, and they're all falling to pieces. One man left. Pepe does not last long, and it's map and match point for Keydstars.
The Keydstars had a very successful round. They pack, they group, they use utility usage effectively. Now they've got themselves a couple of good long spawns, so this is where Flash and Ninjas might try and beat them by pace. Galorys up against the 2 series points, and you always feel that an experienced team should be able to close once given the series point.
Fast play into the B-bomb site. Incendiary doesn't stop him. They smoke it down. Back has no idea what's coming his way. 2 kills found for him, though. Leo trades it. Allison's quickly to the bomb site as well. Finds 1 and 2. And his USP's drawn out for the 3rd man. Leo stands alone with 1 fight to find. No more than that. Divine puts him down. And Galorys deal with the fast pace of the Keydstars well. Extend this for another round of play. Will they extend this for another OT as well?
And you've got to remember, this is back playing just his 40th map on HLTV. This is an inexperienced 21-year-old player that came up from the academy, and I think he's performed very well in terms of an anchor. It's a tough position to be in. You don't often, especially on the B side of Dust 2, get a lot of action. But right there, 2 kills instantly. Good repositions, sets up the round. His teammate from Allison can clean up the pieces. Well, that is a superstar hold. That is everything that you want from a B-site anchor.
Tactical called in for the Keydstars side. I have one final opportunity to close this in this overtime. Do or die for Galorys again. No second elimination bracket at this stage of the tournament. Loser is out. Cads. Aggressive alongside Pepe. Long house. Moves up off the bed, but Vinabeast has caught him off. Cads goes down. Second man able to escape, but stick around close. He doesn't re-extend.
Vinabeast has gone from 20 to 29, and we haven't even finished the first overtime. That's a huge step up in performance. And an opening kill that might just be the ticket to closing it down 16-14. You're starting to get a bit of a shift of a rotation. Pepe's going to get re-smoked. You've got yourself the B player that's starting to leave. So back is basically completely gambling on this. The whole team is shifting towards the A bomb site now.
With the exception of back, who will watch out B. But for Galorys, this gamble may well pay off.
Looks like a double bait. It looks as if they're both going to play very defensively. Take the first engage and then hide on the second.
Pepe DC, that's not good, but Allison's gone unchecked. Flashbangs against him, 3 players to find. 1 lines up. He struggles to get the kill on the forward player, and that allows Vinabeast enough time to transition it back in the 4 versus 2, making it 1. Back is all that is left. The only man to retake it. Keydstars will have the bomb down. They look to have this round. They look to have this series. At a 16-14 and a 2-1. Back needs a miracle. He's got one of them. Number 2 and 3 are set towards long. Back's a turn. He's caught him off. Ninjas is down. 3rd player not looking to act so quickly. Where's the bomb? It's planted down default. Back going for the AWP to fight from range. He's seen his contact. He didn't pull the trigger though. He gets his man. Vinabeast to fall. Leo, he's got a strike towards short. He's been hard. Oh, we're back back in business, baby! Second OT!
What is going on? Oh my goodness. Just when you think about the heartbreak of the DC, the perfect setup they had there towards long, you think that's it. That's a soul-crushing defeat, and somehow, some way back, picks up the orb, baits out both of the shots. That is one of the sickest clutches you are going to see in the entire qualifier.
That was amazing. That was something special. And Galorys will know it. They push on. They stay alive. They bare their fangs and show their tenacity. Not willing to go down so easy when Vivo Keyed, by all accounts, had them beat.
Yeah, this is now starting to drag out for both of these teams. I mean, we've extended 4 hours in a best of 3. Whoever wins here has to play on the Sharks. You just start thinking about it for both teams, the fatigue of not only the latter stage of this match, but how do you get ready for the next one? How do you instantly jump into another best of 3? Hey, it's going to be tough calling for Keydstars or Galorys. Wow, that really should have been it. There is just no way that Back is in any position that he should win that clutch.
Unthinkable scene, still, even now. Brilliance. And if you're Keydstars, right, you think you've been given a blessing, you think you've been given a closing moment. Even I was preparing my ending speech and nope. How must that feel? How must it be to be crushed in such fashion? And the win was right there for you. Euphoria versus disappointment. At least they'll get a small tech pause as we get Pepe back in server. Vivo Keyed have to get their heads back in the game because there's another OT to play for here still.
I just start wondering, Jay. I mean, I'm looking at even that last round from Allison. Like, if we are thinking about the mental state, if we are thinking about the tilt, I mean, even for him, he probably should have got 2, maybe even 3 kills. I mean, can we just not consider that Pepe was the one that was on the side? Yeah, he's the one that DCs, but I mean, Allison was all over it. Hit completely uncleared. I don't know. There was just so many crazy moments in that last round. I can't believe we're still playing on here.
Neither can I, but here we are. When you think it's closing time, when you think it's the ending moment, we all press on. Keydstars and Galorys, magic numbers now, number 19. Warps on Desh and Divine. And mid-control access taken quite significantly from the CT side. No one is pushing on for Keydstars here.
It's very aggressive, but it's all about the timing on whether Pepe overextends the line and when he does. Now, Long is being held by 1, and I think now that contact's come in, this is where they should start pressing towards top mid.
Cads leans in on the smoke cross. HE's doing damage.
It's being watched at the Longhouse, but on and on timing.
Closing. Vinabis has read it. Caught Pepe. Is he aware of the second man? Allison, dangerous element, and he gets his returning frag. Second player still back. That's the bomb carrier of Ninjas. Back making noise. Extend towards lower tunnels. Yes, he will. Ready for the first player, not the second. Leo keeps it at a 3-on-3.
Leo's got to be careful about retaking mid. Allison is now looking everywhere. Do you look Longhouse? Do you look mid directly? And that bomb is sandwiched. It has to be driven long to A. but Leo can be the position to make it uncomfortable for the CTs, to bring more attention elsewhere than necessary.
Dash with a frag. Allison's down. 3 on 2. You see that player on the boost. One player down. His CAD's on for a 1v3. He's caught the first man. He's backed away to try and play a different angle. Go for a different M4 from CT spawn. Drop down. Burst fire. Oh, just misses Ninjas. 8 points of health. He's almost dead though. Dash is the next big concern. He's the big threat. And he's creeping in closer. CAD sees him, but Dash does not miss that one. He's clearly happy with it. 16 on the board. Keedstars back in the lead.
Good composure there from Keedstars. I mean, it's never easy when you're trying to default and you've got this sort of mid-press from Peppy, and then you've got... you're trying to re-clear space, and then you're in a position where Leo is getting himself in a great lurk. A great timing, deals with backs, gets out there towards spawn. Just good composure. Double AWPs on the CT line. Vinabeast, the one that started that round, up to 31 kills now. And an opening kill looked free there from Dash.
Allison tries to fight back. Peppy has caught a couple of kills out of it towards mid. He's left exposed though without backup, so at 6 points of health. He really needs to continue fighting, and he gets a triple out of it. They've dropped the bomb up there and everything. Galorys just coming up with some serious curveball plays, some serious Hail Marys. The Virgin Mother is answering back in full.
Well, that happens when you get deeper into matches, don't you? When you start getting into overtimes, it starts getting very messy, starts getting very chaotic between both teams, and we've seen it in back-to-back rounds. This time, it's Peppy that just keeps fighting. He knows that because he's so aggressive, he just has to keep going. Now, Leo knows that there's a player in spawn and knows the AWP's out there towards the right-hand side, but at least the CTs are doing a pretty good job of defending themselves, always falling back, always giving themselves further territory.
Counter-terrorists win.
16 all. Not allowed to get a significant advantage out of this, are we? Neither side able to pull away from the other. We'll continue to go the distance here in this overtime. One more round in this half for it. Who takes the advantage though? Will it be Keedstars again? Will Galorys finally pull ahead? Been waiting for an advantage for quite a while here on Dust 2.
And that might be the nature of Keedstars and the experience that they bring, is always just trying to lead by the front when we get into OT. Allison close behind the doors. Short access being taken. This tells you the CTs want to retake mid.
Allison in that corner just saw the gun barrel. White's covering fire and she extends out towards Ninjas. That might be a trap. There's 3 players total out here, but somehow gets away. A 40 HP finally caught by Ninjas. Leo leaning up on top of Xbox's Peppy is the man to receive him. He'll get a lot of damage done to that Molotov. As all Cad's got some of that himself. A 5-on-4 for Keedstars.
Leo's done well to just not fight there. He's done enough in terms of jiggling around and keeping his head up but crouching, and then just with the utility uses to drive them away. Now, the CTs are just, they're scrambling. They don't know what area they need to retake. They're searching for information, and now they're getting completely pummeled. I mean, they've just got nothing in this round.
Walk their way up to A. Peppy, the only defender that they have. Divine goes down, picked up is Peppy, and back. Oh. Not a clutch on this time. 17-16, Keedstars in the lead for their CT side.
And this is now for Keedstars where, they had 2 series points out there in the first overtime. How quickly are they going to get up to 18? How quickly are they going to get on that series point again? If you are the coaches of both of these teams, you just want them to stay mentally refreshed. Make sure that it doesn't matter if we're down by rounds or up by rounds. We need everything to close every time to get it over. Now, being in overtime, only a single tactical timeout. It gets used now. First round of the T side.
Galorys to readjust. Come up with a solid game plan, one that will finally push you past the finish line. Had that chance with the return on Nuke. We talked about it as being potentially missed opportunities and missed chance for them, but they're keeping their chances open. They're keeping their opportunities alive here as best as they can. One round to the good.
And you just start looking, Jay, at this entire bracket with how we've had some one-sided matchups, some 2-0s. Mate, what's going on in this series? I mean, it's just dragging on, isn't it? We're going on and on. And I even think, is there even another overtime calling? Are we going to be able to continue again?
Well, those are questions we're going to have to answer in a short little bit of time. Unfortunately, we are being told that there is some more issues, so we're going to take a break, and hopefully when we come back, we can find out who is the victors here between Keystars and Galorys. Welcome back. Ready to jump back in between Keydstars and Galorys. For those of you wondering why we have so many pauses, it's because our integrity cameras that watch the players to ensure that there's nothing nefarious going on just don't quite seem to be functioning today. So we have to get those working before we can continue. We're ready to get back into the thick of things. 17-16, Keydstars lead the charge, but will they keep that lead?
But now comes down to the single AWP from Desh, who is starting out towards long, and, well, a very aggressive swing there from Allison after he puts the smoke down. Doesn't quite create that first opening chance, so from that point onwards, it's probably going to get quite slow towards shore.
Moving in towards the mid and catwalk areas.
Oh, there's a flash play.
Pop up beyond that smoke, and no. Cads gets both the kills. Galorys to a 5-on-3 they go. Cads might be low and Peppy might be tagged, but they're alive. Two men are not for Keydstars.
Well, it's the first time we've seen that set up. Give yourself a little lurk smoke, try and peek up behind it. The problem is, if you don't get that kill straight away, it's going to be difficult to fall back. And it's just turned into a complete gamble now. So this round is already over, because you can see the bombs transitioning into a B lane, while the CTs are transitioning into a complete A gamble.
Yeah, nothing more to be said for that. No way that Keystars can even get exits from the extremities of the bomb side. No one's watching from CT spawn or anything. Galorys will treat this as if they have got players on the B side, but they'll quickly realise. And they picked against the gamble. And they will now be evened up. Only took 2 kills to get there. 17 all.
See, this is where I think, especially with where the economy sits, they should still look for exits because it gives them a chance to hold on to AKs. I think the idea of completely sitting back here and just saving onto weapons, there's just no point for me.
We are deep in at OT. It's 12.5k rule set as well, so...
Terrorists win.
Keystars not liking the layups of the maps and... how they can approach these rounds either way. They've made their bed, they now must lie in it. We'll see the AWPs in on both sides regardless. Just goes to show how one single moment, one single move, one player's sequence can make all the difference in the world. Keystars go hyper passive this round here.
But they finally bring Dash into at least observing the mid-angle. We've normally seen him out towards the A-bomb site or playing passively on B. We haven't frequently seen him here at CT. Had that opening exchange in the longhouse in the last round. This time, a minute 17, and finally that smoke clears. Now, you won't expect much. You'll even expect a resmoke to come in. Galorys have not had a single contact anywhere.
Oh, Dash brings up at the right moment. Alison's down. Keystars up by a man. The AWP is considering a secondary face forward. Cads and Pepe around the corner itself. Dash will get another kill out of it alongside Flash and his kill on back. And Galorys, with all the glory they had in that last round, are going to be mitigated in this one. Pepe needs to bring that bomb and regroup with his teammate. A 2v5 where they've done 1 point of damage to Keystars.
That took some proper confidence from Dash. That's one of those moves, Jay, that I would say is quite 50-50. You overextend the marker and you give away a freebie to the opposition, you are the reason you've lost the round. You end up getting a multi-frag, you're the reason that you won the round. And sometimes X Factor needs to be performed. It needs to at least be attributed when it comes to these overtime rounds. And they probably won't even clear Goose, so it's an absolute freebie. Let's keep an eye on how many AKs are being recovered, because the more they get, the more dangerous they're going to look to try and close. You've only got 2. Flash and Leo didn't quite get in a position where they could pick any up.
Double AKs and double AWPs. At least it was going to be double AWPs for Keystars. Ultimate setup for the match point again on their part. Galorys had to clutch up big time. The Dragons into this second overtime. Flashes in on Dash, will drive him back. Once again, slow to the uptake past the first minute marker.
Pepe's been able to already work quite a bit of space off of the lurk smoke, but it's Dash again. This is 2 rounds in a row now. He's not only opened with an opening kill, but he's shown that the AWP cannot get traded. And it's double back-to-back rounds now!
23 deep. The late game lurch forward from the AWP of Keystars. And that may have been enough to break the backs of Galorys. Beast. Set and ready for a kill found on back. Next up, upper tunnel's not an option for the T side, although they'll try and make it happen anyway. Allison finds his trade. And the last man was so defensive. Divine needs to get his shot, but no, he can't go down here. He's dropped the bomb, and there's no time for Allison now. The CTs need to protect one player, and that will be the end of it. And 19-17, finally, Keed Stars end the Marathon series with a 2